You know, Fester, I could not wait to get back of the stupid glasses, man. Wait a minute, you haven't been wearing those. What? Why? I'm trying to figure out who you look like with those dumbass glasses.
Like me with dumbass glasses on.
Hey, can you get on the microphone?
Yeah, how's this?
It's a little better. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So, what is the deal with you, like, wearing them for a couple of days, then you're not wearing the glasses for a couple of days, then you're back to the glasses?
Okay, I wear them every
That's right.
day.
You look like Ali G. That's right.
A fat Ali G. Ali F.
You look like Ali Fatso.
So, listen.
Yes.
I wear them every day. I wear them for driving.
Oh, you are Ali G.
So
Ali G, you're putting on weight.
I think I am. I'm putting on my winter coat early this season.
Yeah, all right. So the large black framed, like, blue blockers with yellow lenses.
Yes, I love them.
Yeah.
I can wear them all the time. I wear them specifically for driving. It gives me the vision of a falcon.
Where were they yesterday?
In my car.
Oh, the vision of a falcon, like one of those birds of prey that can be 1,000 feet up and spot like a little field mouse all the way down on the ground.
Yes, it cuts out all the glare.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How about the Rockets' red glare? Did they cut that out on 4th of July?
It muted it. It did.
It did.
And MJ, I wear them every day, all the time when I'm driving. But I take them off in the car.
Anyway,
today I didn't.
If you're watching MJ TV, you can see Fester. Hey, Andrew, take Fester's camera if it is on. You look ridiculous in these things.
It's a good look.
I could not wait to get back to today's show.
Yes.
After yesterday's show, I could not wait to get back in order to play the Fester's Ride song generated by AI yesterday with this Suno website. A listener. Folks, welcome, by the way, to the Tuesday, July 8th program here of the MJ broadcast with me, MJ, and Michelle and Fester. Yeah. So a listener sent me a DM on Instagram, and you can communicate with me whenever you want. My private email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. Any hot tip, gossip, anything we need to know? Is there something you want to tell us that needs to be told to everybody? If you want to stay anonymous, just say, hey, this is an anonymous tip. This is anonymous content. If you want to stay anonymous, that's fine. If you want me to mention you, that's fine as well. So you can get a hold of me, mj@mjmorningshow.com, or, of course, my DMs, my direct messages are open on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's my Instagram. So I get a DM, and a listener said, hey, you ought to use that AI song generator and do a song about Fester's beat-up jalopy, his old 2010 Cadillac. And then I said, yeah, like when Fester occasionally gives me a ride in to the studio and picks me up at the house, and I have to ride in the back seat because the seatbelt's busted and the paint is chipping off the car and peeling off, and he's got all kinds. He's got brake problems. He's got taillight problems. He has all kinds of issues. I forgot to put certain things in there. I didn't put that you have cigar burns in the ceiling.
We can only put so many things in there.
I know.
It's a finite amount of information we can give for a song.
So with this AI song generator, you just put in a whole bunch of suggestions, ideas. You type in content, and then in 30 seconds, it generates a song. You get to choose the genre, male or female vocalist. Now, in this case, why weren't we prompted to put in the genre? And it just kind of picked a rap song, and it turned out to be phenomenal.
So it makes its own song. You can prompt it to do a specific style. It doesn't ask you what style you want.
So here is the AI-generated Fester's Ride song, and I could not wait to get back to today's show in order to play it again and share it, well, right now with you, the early crowd. The early listeners here on the MJ Morning Show. Check it.
Fester rolling heavy, Cadillac swaying, 2010 bucket paint chips decaying, seatbelt snapped, ain't no safety in sight, headlights dim, barely cut through the night. Ball tires skating, life on the edge, MJ ducking, won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried, nobody's safe in Fester's Ride.
Exactly right.
Feeling paint flakes scatter in the breeze. Doors creak louder than his old knees. Overweight driver leaning on the wheel. Every bump hit got the shocks repealed. Radio static, can't find no tune. AC dead, sweating under June's cruel moon. A haunted whip, every turn a new scare. MJ screaming, I ain't riding nowhere. Ball tires skating, life on the edge. MJ ducking, won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried. Nobody safe in Fester's ride.
Got that right, homie. His whip.
Hood pops, open steam like a kettle. Fester just shrugs, this beast won't settle. MJ texts Uber, ain't waiting to die. Fester in denial, ride until it's dry.
MJ text Uber? Because I don't want to die?
Don't want to die.
This is absolutely fantastic. Little bridge here. Is that it? Or does it? We come back with another verse, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think we come back with one more verse.
This is the extended track.
All AI generated.
All right, now it drops.
Now it drops. Here it comes back.
Hood pops open, steam like a kettle. Fester just shrugs, this beast won't settle. MJ texts Uber, ain't waiting to die. Fester in denial, ride until it's dry.
See, this is AI used for good. But this is a perfect example of why AI is going to kill us all. All right? We're getting murdered by AI. What, Michelle?
Life on the edge. MJ ducking, won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried. Nobody safe in Fester's ride.
Oh, here we go. Wrapping it up. That's crazy. I love that thing.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Maybe we ought to do a part 2 of that. Maybe we ought to feed it just like different information. Maybe we ought to just make up crap that you lost control. Maybe like a wheel flew through a Dollar Tree and mowed over 19 customers.
Are you trying to make a whole rock anthem about my
a rock opera?
A rock opera? My car?
It's like the Bohemian and Rhapsody of Fester's crappy car.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, I love that thing. It's 6:08 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. Oh, I got something morbid I'm doing this morning. There's something just Michelle, why do you just give me the look?
I don't know. The morbid is like, good content.
Yeah,
No.
good morning, everybody.
But,
Yeah.
all right, but hold on a minute. It's interesting morbid. It's not like sick. People are going to be angry at me morbid. It's kind of like curiosity morbid. Does that make sense?
No.
I mean, I'm sure it'll make sense once you spew it out of your face.
Oh, I'm going to spew it. Oh, did you see the Britain Plaza thing?
Yeah. I saw
so
it's up
the
for
renderings, about a year ago, we heard that they were going to redevelop Britain Plaza, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, is this more yak like the West Shore Plaza Mall propaganda that's been spewing? We need to do a song for West Shore Mall ain't getting redeveloped anytime soon. What's the next line there?
That's
All right,
it's a
man.
podcast. Right there.
Yeah.
It's really specific.
Dude, this is new.
Ooh.
What?
The renderings look very nice.
I know.
They're
That's why it's not a podcast. It's
haven't
called
s-
local freaking content, you smart ass.
Well, I don't know.
And anything you don't like, that ought to be an MJ podcast.
I think you should do the Pizza Putts podcast.
All right,
I've
whatever.
been saying that for
Yeah.
years.
All right, just getting rolling. We are loaded on a Tuesday. I'm just freaking excited to be here. You know who else is excited to be here? Shriner with Traffic from Home. All right, stand by. Back in a minute.
There are no incidents to report on right now.
6:18. Welcome, my peeps. It is the MJ Morning Show. It is a Tuesday morning. As we continue, you know, I've got a pile of things that I didn't get to over the last couple of days of the broadcast. And, of course, we ended last week a little early. Against my wishes, we did not do a Thursday show. I wanted to do a Thursday show July 3rd, and Fester and Michelle were adamant about no Thursday, July 3rd show.
I mean, also, your children were, right? It was your son's 21st birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his birthday was the next day on July 4th, which was the holiday.
Yeah.
So some people celebrate entire weekends of birthdays.
I celebrate entire month.
Yeah, the significant ones. It's not on
birthday month. Anyway, I've got some items that I just didn't get to. And, Andrew even pulled some audio bites to help and to assist in the telling of the tale of the story. And one said story that I didn't get to last week was a story that involved Andrew pulling these sound bites.
I'm the hootin'est, tootin'est, shootin'est, bobtail wildcat in the West. I'm the fastest gun north, south, east, and west of the Pecos.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
I know who that is.
All right.
Dirty Turkish, Harkaback, Flatten, Fortin, Philip, Barton, Perkaluma, Burton.
When I was a kid, I swore he was cursing. Like,
You idiot.
You idiot. That's right. I forgot about that one. Instead of you idiot, you idiot. IDJIT. You know what, Fester? I'm going to start calling you an idiot.
I'll call you an idiot. I'll call you an idiot midget.
We'll have an idiot off.
You idiot.
Idiot midget.
Idiot is a slang term that is seen as a less harsh way of calling somebody an idiot.
Well, where do you find it? Google AI?
Yeah.
Idiot is a slang term often less harsh than calling someone an idiot. Who decided that calling somebody an idiot is less offensive than calling them an idiot?
At best, it's equally as cutting, if not more.
You idiot. You idiot.
All right, so why do we have all of these old Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam audio bites?
You idiot.
It's a Florida story too. You gotta love this.
Right, somebody get arrested with a long red mustache.
No, but you're
Somebody robbing a bank.
and a cowboy hat
Yeah.
with the old 6-shooter style holster with the bullets, plugged into the. What do you call those old holes? The old belts with the holster, and you have the bullet holders all the way around. Was there a name for that? Anyway, so it does involve Yosemite Sam.
You idiot.
Up in Walton County, on the Gulf beaches of the Panhandle, nearly $500,000 worth of square grouper washed up on the beach. And on the packaging, pictures of Yosemite Sam. So square grouper, if you don't know, that's slang for bales or bundles of like marijuana or like cocaine or illegal illicit drugs wrapped up into plastic, into bricks. And when those things wash up or they're found floating in the water,
that's free money.
It's square grouper. You know what? This is going to open up a whole different debate. So hold on. If I forget, just remind me, keyword debate, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on a minute. So this was last week. I just didn't get to this, but the Walton County Sheriff's Office said a beachgoer, a walker on the beach, found close to $500,000 in street value worth of cocaine that washed up on the shore, washed up on the beach. 25 bricks that were marked with the image of Yosemite Sam.
You idiot.
Yeah, guess what? That's the boss. That's the drug lord saying to whoever lost the $500,000 worth of cocaine, "Where's my coke?"
You idiot.
I'm sorry. It fell overboard. I'm sorry, boss.
What an idiot.
An idiot. 25 bricks. And on the outside of the bales or the bundles, there were images of Yosemite Sam with his big cowboy hat, the big red mustache, and him holding like 2 6-shooters up in the air.
That's fantastic. He's an underappreciated character.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. Officials encourage anyone who comes across square groupers to call the sheriff's office immediately. Additionally, they say do not touch any suspicious packages. So I don't know if there's any new information up in Walton County, up in the Panhandle, where someone stumbled across 25 bricks of coke.
Oh, apparently they've arrested Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
They've taken him
Suffering
down.
succotash. All right. What was the key word?
Debate.
Debate. Yes. The key word is debate. There are some people that might not call the police. How many people, if you do stumble across a bale or so of marijuana or cocaine, how many people either keep the haul either for personal use or to try to sell it for a quick buck versus doing the right thing? So we hear about the people that find the illicit drugs that wash up on the beach or they're floating in the water, and we hear about they called authorities and police came. Remember the mayor of Tampa. Remember Jane Castor? She was fishing with, I think, family down in the Keys, And didn't she reel in a bale of coke or a bale of pot or a bundle of coke or something?
Yeah, that was a while ago, but I remember that story.
Yeah, we called her up. We had Mayor Jane Castor on the show talking about that. So you wonder how many people fish this crap out or they find it on the beach and they keep it. Or if they're really debating for a certain amount of time, what should I do with this? Should I call the cops? Should I do something else with this? I'm going to tell you right now, I would call the police immediately. I don't use illicit drugs. There's no way I'm going to try to sell found illicit drugs.
So both of those reasons are disqualifiers for you keeping it. One, it's too much to keep for your personal use, maybe. I don't know. Does that go bad like milk? I don't know.
Hold on. Why are you like saying like you as in me?
Well, I'm just.
You're just saying generically.
Generically, we're debating this out.
Yep.
Well, you also said you.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking the whole thing through. I mean, I can use a fictitious character like Yosemite Sam if you like, you're taking it so personally.
You idiot.
Also, you don't have the infrastructure for distribution.
I don't want the infrastructure for distribution.
That's not the argument.
Yeah.
You don't have it.
Right.
It's not that you don't want it. You don't have it. You can't not want something you don't. I mean,
But it's not in my universe.
right. So
Right, so
you
that-
would turn it in. However,
There's no debate with you.
if I knew 100 customers
Like
potentially,
like BJ's hairdresser connection.
yes, if I had a means of distribution,
What
if I had
what
a
are that
distribu-
guy's doing these days?
probably dead.
Mm.
If I had a distributor, if I had a distribution network,
I went to that guy's house and threatened him. By the way, remember that, Michelle?
No, I do.
and he's like, "Listen, dude, I'm so high right now."
I said, if you sell him coke one more time, I'm going to the cops.
"Whoa!"
I did. I did.
I'm lucky you're not shot.
I'm not going into a full explicit story, but I've just obviously said something that I don't think I've ever said on this program before.
quite the threat. I'm going to the cops.
Yeah, it's right off of MacDill, South MacDill.
So,
Yeah.
if I had a distribution network, if I had potential customers in line, if I lived that lifestyle, like for example, if you found a square grouper full of 25 pounds of gummy bears,
Oh.
you'd keep that.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh man, I'm going to use this.
Yeah.
Or if you found like
25 pounds of gummy bears are not a scheduled illicit illegal drug
Take that
that'll
out
put
of
you
it.
in a penitentiary for 25 years.
take that out of it. And
Yeah.
listen, you're not worrying about that if you're finding this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if I found like, a big old bundle of cigars, I'll be like, well, I'll be keeping these
Yeah.
because I'm in that life. I wouldn't even be distributing them. I'd be smoking them one at a time deliciously.
I mean, Fester, if you'd have found it 25 years ago,
I-
you would have known people,
I would have
and
had-
you would have had just a constant,
I mean,
door of clients coming in.
I'd have
right?
gotten-
What are you saying?
I mean,
I'm saying 25 years ago.
I had access to a distribution
Yeah,
network. that I didn't have.
exactly.
I would tell you about my roommate Jim.
You did. You've
Yeah.
talked about Jim going to prison
Yeah.
numerous times.
several times.
We don't have, Fester doesn't have that infrastructure now.
That's right. I can't get a hold of my roommate Jim.
You find illegal drugs, you call the cops. You don't try to, you shouldn't even scheme for like 10 minutes. What should I do? What should I do? Don't like think through this. How can I sell this? How can I do? Don't even think. Just call the cops. Just the whole Yosemite Sam, bundles of coke just got me thinking.
I hate debating with you. You know that?
Why is that?
Because you're like, just call the cops.
Yeah, it wasn't
Because
really.
it should be a no-brainer. It should be automatic. It should be an involuntary reflex. If you find drugs washed up on the beach, you call the
If
cops.
the cops wanted it that bad, they'd beef up beach patrol.
All right, knock it off. All right, this is awful. I mean, do we have a chance as a society when you hear the story of a group of fifth-grade girls plotting to kill a boy at school? And they even said, just end him.
Oh.
Fifth grade? Fifth grade is what, like 11 years old?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like 11 years old, fifth graders. This is insane. And you know what? Guess where it happened? Surprise!
What, Catholic school?
No. It happened in Surprise, Arizona. Oh, it's that's
okay.
that's That's the name of the
That's
city.
a real town.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
You've heard of that.
I have.
It happened in, surprise, Arizona. 4 elementary school girls in Arizona accused of plotting to kill a classmate by stabbing him in a school bathroom. And one of the girls even said, just end him. What?
How far did they take this plan? Or was it just, fifth graders?
We're talking about 10 and 11-year-old girls, fifth graders at Legacy Traditional Schools West Surprise campus.
They were surprised, all right.
So the school year is obviously over, but the report, I guess the full report just came out from the surprise police department, said the friends devised the plan during lunch and recess last October. What the hell? Just end him was the goal, according to the police report, which said the motive may have been about a recent breakup and cheating allegations.
Oh.
A relationship breakup in freaking fifth grade? And these 10 and 11-year-old girls are plotting to kill a kid?
I'll tell you what, the fifth grade love scene, man, it's intense.
My God, according to the police report, the girls plan to lure the boy, the classmate, to the outside bathroom and stab him in the stomach. The girls at 10 and 11 years old were plotting to shank the kid. What the hell? Each girl, this is like Ocean's 11.
I know, listen.
This is Ocean's 11-year-old. Each girl had a role to play to get away with it. One would bring the knife. Another would forge a suicide note to make it seem like he stabbed himself. Somebody would act as the lookout while the other carried out the stabbing. To avoid fingerprints on the murder weapon, they planned to wear gloves. School administrators worked with school resource officer to investigate after students who overheard the murder plot came forward. Well, thank God there are some non-rotten, dirty scoundrels in fifth grade in Surprise, Arizona.
I mean, there's talking about it at the lunch table. I mean, how secret is this plan?
The next day, the girls' backpacks were searched. They were questioned. All 4 children were arrested on charges of threatening and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. The police report said 3 students showed remorse, but the 4th would smile and laugh while making excuses for their actions.
That's the leader of the operation.
Oh, my
Right.
God. Can you imagine this?
Yeah, I can't imagine there are many play dates going on with any of those girls anytime soon.
The hell?
I don't know. That's diabolical for that age.
Well, that's a good word. Good word. Diabolical.
I'll tell you right now, though, it's so hard to get kids to work together on group projects right now. I mean, in a way, it's misguided a little, but I'm kind of proud of these girls.
How old is Hudson?
He's 8.
Can't they just make a bathroom shanking diorama?
Oh.
Yeah.
Just get a shoebox.
A shoebox.
And make a bathroom stabbing diorama, right?
You know what they have now? They have like that 3-fold cardboard where you can make like a presentation display. Mm-hmm. Make a stabbing display like that.
I always wanted to make a diarrhea diorama. Because whenever I heard the word, even like in 2nd, 3rd grade, did you ever make dioramas? That was big. When I was in elementary school, man, making dioramas, that was big. I want to say like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. That was like diorama city.
I remember I had to bring in my grandfather's shoebox of Florsheims.
But whenever I heard diorama, I always thought of,
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach.
Diorama!
Yay, Pepto-Bismol!
All right, 6:34 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I got a fabulous pile of morons in the news next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, we have a great air conditioning sponsor here on the MJ Morning Show, and I can tell you that our great air conditioning sponsor, Plan B Air Conditioning, has recently concluded the install of a new air conditioning unit in my house. So I got a new unit because my old unit was like 13 years old, and the coils were rusted, and it just, too expensive to fix it. It just didn't make sense. So Plan B AC, 813 Plan B AC, they put in a new Daikin system. And this is my first experience with Daikin. DAIKEN, and they're really exploding over the last number of years. They've really exploded across the United States. They are the number one air conditioner producer in the world. It's a great South Korean company, and they put a Daikin unit in my house, and the thing is working phenomenally. So who can you trust to do new installs on new air conditioning units when you need it? It's Plan B Air Conditioning. Who can you trust to tell you you don't need a new unit? We can fix it for the fraction of a price of a new unit. That's Plan B Air Conditioning. Any air conditioning problem, it's planbairconditioning.com, 813-PLAN-BAC, and tell them that MJ sent you. Hey, another one of our advertisers is Westfall Roofing. Who does the roofing work at my house? You got it. Ding, 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 ding. It's Westfall Roofing. If you need your roof repaired, we're in the rainy season, man. What do we have, like 5 solid days of like heavy pockets of rain? So if you discovered a leak in your roof, you call Westfall Roofing. You might need an all-new roof. So, you see, you might need a repair, or maybe it's just time for a new roof. Why? Because on average, roofs in Florida last about 15 to 20 years. And listen, I'm in that zone right now where I'm going to need a new roof. If you need any roofing work done, folks, it's Westfall Roofing. Been around since 1989. This is a family-run company. Recently, Tampa Bay Business Journal listed them as one of the 50 greatest places to work in the Tampa Bay area. That's a culture thing. That should tell you another reason why you should call Westfall Roofing. WestfallRoofing.com, and tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on. Morons in the news next, 6:36. Here's Schreiner, back in a minute. Cannibal illegal migrant that ate his arm while in custody.
He ate his own arm?
I didn't think that's what cannibalism was, where you eat yourself.
It's like auto cannibalism or
Yeah.
something.
You know,
I don't know.
I mean, generally, I'm against cannibalism in the broad sense.
Right.
However, if you want to eat yourself, I mean, I do believe in individual liberty and personal freedoms.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem gave a bizarre and sickening account. This is last week. I just didn't get around to this one. How federal agents nabbed a illegal migrant who started to eat his own arms during his deportation flight. What the hell? This is not a debate about immigration. This is not a debate about, Homeland Security and what's going on with ICE. This is not a debate about this. This is about a guy that was on a deportation flight, and he starts to, go all cannibal on his own arms, and he's trying to eat his own arms.
How is that possible?
This also opens up the debate, certain things that you can't do to yourself. I think most people, can't, intentionally pull out their eye. I'm sorry to be graphic here,
All right.
but there are certain things reflex-wise that you can't do to yourself.
I was thinking more along the lines of licking your own elbow. I mean, you can't do that either. Trust me, people. Don't try it while you're driving. Michelle, see, you can't do it. You get
All
close.
right.
But how much of himself did he consume?
Yeah.
So the disturbing story was shared about this individual. The other day, I was talking to some U.S. Marshals that had been partnering with ICE. They said they had detained a cannibal and put him on a plane to take him home.
I have the secretary right here.
Well, while he had him in his seat, he started to eat himself. What the hell?
That's crazy.
I mean, again, this is not an immigration or an ICE debate. This is just a bizarre story. Listen, this could have been just a guy on a flight to London. This is a guy that could have just been on the British Airways, 6:30 flight from Tampa International to Gatwick, that just started to eat his arm. I still would have done this. It just happens to be an illegal migrant cannibal eating his arms.
So what do you do if you're the guy sitting next to him and you look over and you see somebody eating their own arm?
Well, I guess you assume that there was no in-flight meal. And that's
Are there in-flight meals on these flights? I don't know.
That's a good question. Do you get a snack box or a juicy juice or something?
Did the secretary mention where this person was from? Or where they were headed?
I'm guessing Central America, right? Or somewhere, maybe Guatemala or something. I don't think they said exactly where. I don't know if the flight. I would guess it was probably headed to Guatemala, is what I'm guessing. But I mean, can you eat your own arm? I think of people crazed on angel dust or something.
Yeah.
Somebody all PCP'd up good that eats their own face.
I mean, maybe I could,
How do you eat your own face?
maybe I could bite my arm. I could bite my arm and probably break skin, and that would probably be my pain tolerance.
Right.
Yeah. After breaking
Yeah.
skin, I was like, all right, this is kind of.
I don't even think I'd make it that far.
Do you gnaw on your own bone? I mean,
Oh,
this is-
fester.
the
That's
pain would be
crazy.
excruciating.
Like eating ribs. Oh, you know what? You eat your own ribs.
Yeah.
Barbecued your own ribs. Yeah.
Yes.
Low and slow. Smoke them for hours.
I don't think
Yeah.
he ate them raw.
All right. Moving along. We got some weird morons in the news today. This is nuts. A 7-Eleven manager sat on an employee, and now the employee is apparently brain dead. I mean, what the hell?
I mean, if you sit on somebody's head and you're jumping and bouncing on it, yeah, I can see that happening.
This happened in Hollywood. I'm wondering if this is the 7-Eleven that I used to go to on Melrose. Oh, it is. Oh my God, it is. You know what? It is. The fifth. I used to go to this. I got pulled over by LAPD for making a left turn illegally. Right at I was going to the 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. 5700 block of Melrose Avenue.
Oh, my God.
Holy crap. I know exactly where this is. I used to go to this 7-Eleven all the time when I lived in Hollywood in 1989, 90, and part of 91. A Hollywood, California 7-Eleven employee has died after this is the update. Initially, the employee was brain dead and was hanging on, but the update is that the employee has died because a shift manager sat on the employee and stopped the employee from breathing. What the hell? What they get into an argument on how to, stock the Lay's potato chip? I mean, what happened here? You're not spacing the hot dogs correctly on the hot dog roller.
I'm going to sit on you.
This is nuts. About 2:15 p.m.
Middle of the day?
On June 24th, according to the LAPD, officers from the Wilshire Division responded to a call about a felony battery at the 7-Eleven on the 5700 block of Melrose Avenue. I was in that place dozens of times. There was a Baskin-Robbins right next door as well.
Did anything happen there involving employees?
LAPD said an altercation happened between a female victim and a female suspect where they got into a verbal argument. Officers arrived to find the woman in her 20s unconscious on the floor with critical injuries. She was rushed to a local hospital. Cops said the suspect had fled the scene. So the manager of the 7-Eleven fled after sitting on the fellow 7-Eleven employee and, causing her to stop breathing. Family members identified the victim as Jessica McLaughlin. Her brother told KTLA television that Jessica was nearing the end of her shift when the assistant manager began antagonizing her and threw a bottle at her. Other employees told the family the manager had pinned Jessica to the ground, straddled her, causing her to lose oxygen and ultimately lose consciousness. What the hell? Morons in the news. The assistant manager then allegedly attempted to delete the 7-Eleven store security video footage.
I was about to say, every inch of that place is on camera.
And
they
then
have the footage.
Then fled the 7-Eleven on a bicycle. That's a mean-ass getaway vehicle, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, it's probably pretty efficient through those streets of L.A.
Doctors purportedly told the family that the lack of oxygen caused irreversible brain damage. She was declared clinically dead, but she was hanging on. And then the update is she's finally passed away. Is that nuts?
That's just terrible. You
you
go to work at 7-Eleven and you think, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Maybe you have a stick up.
Yeah.
You hand over, the $20 or so that you have access to.
You're not going to get a beat down and sat on by your boss.
Can you imagine that? 7-Eleven?
Oh.
That is nuts. By the way, the interesting thing is it looks like the manager's facing 7 to 11 years in prison.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It should be more than that.
It's not something to joke about.
24 years. Like 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is all. I feel bad. Family's like she was a beautiful person. And
yeah, there's a picture over here in this news article. She's a lovely young woman.
I know.
Yeah.
But man, things escalated quickly.
The investigation's ongoing, and last I saw, the LAPD was still searching for the manager. How tough is it to find the manager? She got away on a bike.
No, she's out of there.
She's on a freaking Schwinn. All right.
Well, she's not coming in for the next shift because she's been terminated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's grounds for dismissal at 7-Eleven. When you sit on a fellow employee and cause them to be brain dead and you kill them, yeah, that's an HR issue.
Most issues you can solve or at least put off a little bit by putting on ice.
You know what? You got to do.
So
What are you saying?
I'll try to make a Slurpee joke, but.
Or they have the ice coolers out front. They have the bags of ice.
Yeah, but that's not funny. Yeah. If I would have said, you had to take like some cherry Slurpee and pour her on her head. You
know what? If you sit and you cause a fellow employee to die, that's an HR Zoom call.
Yeah, that's a meeting.
You got to do a meeting on Zoom with HR.
Maybe Bob from corporate will come in.
The last I saw, they still haven't found the suspect.
No, they haven't. I'm looking it up right now.
So
they have
still?
And they haven't released a description of the suspect either.
Yeah,
and they haven't
weird.
released the video. Yeah, it's a little interesting.
They're wearing a 7-Eleven vest with a little name tag.
Is it a vest now?
I don't know.
It's not a little button-up
Do
shirt.
they? What do they wear? I'm trying to think of the 7-Eleven
Yeah.
uniform.
I'll tell you right now, MJ, these convenience stores, there's a lot of tension in there with the staff.
Really?
What do you say? Oh,
Explain.
Is this a universal problem?
I mean, I'm a frequent,
Yeah.
I don't know, patron
Yeah.
of convenience stores.
You said this last week.
I don't go into a lot. Michelle, you and I, we really don't go to a lot of convenience stores.
Oh, yeah.
We don't. But Fester,
I'm good to go to a Circle K a couple times a week.
I think you spend more time in convenience stores than you do in
I
your
hear
own
from-
home.
I spend more time. Well, that's not true.
Or here than here on the MJ Morning Show.
That is
Yeah.
true. Yes, the
Right.
3 hours and 45 minutes that I'm here every day, I spend more time daily in convenience-like establishments, and there's a lot of tension. I mean, there's people yelling back and forth. I mean, look at some of the dynamics behind the counter at these convenience stores. They're a high-tension place.
You've witnessed tension in convenience stores with staff?
Yeah.
Like how?
Circle K is the best and the worst.
Really?
Because they have the Polar Pop, which is the best.
Oh, yeah?
And I've seen some very terse words between the staff.
Oh, wait. But speaking of 7-Eleven, does that thing happen on 7-Eleven this year?
Oh,
Where you get the free
it's every
something?
year. Every year. So,
Every year.
yeah. Free Slurpee Day.
Yeah.
7-Eleven's going to be what, on Friday? Is 7-Eleven Friday? I think so. Yeah. Friday is 7-Eleven. So it should be free small Slurpee Day.
There you go.
Absolutely. Hey, when we get back,
It's on a Thursday,
7-Eleven's Thursday?
maybe. Is it?
No,
No, it should
today's
be
the
Friday.
it's what calendar are you looking at?
I don't know. AI
You can't
told me.
even read a
AI,
Dude.
read what AI said.
No.
7-Eleven's annual free
All right,
Slurpee Day is July 7th.
Tomorrow's the 9th, the 10th is Wednesday, and the 11th is Friday, dude. It's probably a whole different year. You're
Thursday, July 11th. So AI.
yeah.
This is AI.
Oh,
No, AI should be the most current and up-to-date thing, but this
But
is an example of how it's not.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
AI is wrong.
Exactly.
This year, 7-Eleven is on Friday.
Right.
All right, 6:54 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, man, do you know about those evil vegetarians? Oh, I got an evil vegetarian. It totally counter to the cannibal eating his own arms on the deportation flight. All right, hold on. We'll get to that next. We got a lot of crap, man. This is a busy show today here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. My friends at IDC, International Diamond Center, want you to know they are here for you. You know, when couples, like you potentially, when you walk into IDC, International Diamond Center, your eyes will get big. Why? Because it's a mind-blowing display of sparkling jewelry. Literally thousands of choices when it comes to engagement rings. All the styles that she has seen online, they have them at IDC, all the top designers. You know, when you walk into IDC, they'll offer you a beverage. They'll ask a lot of questions about your taste, your style. You'll get a no-holds-barred education on diamond purchasing, everything you need to know. You'll be told the secrets of the jewelry business. Information, knowledge is power, IDC. You know, the consultants at IDC, they're not commission salespeople. They want to help you. They're not trying to sell you something more expensive so they jack up their commission. See dozens and dozens and dozens of diamonds. Amazing display, all sizes, shapes, colors. When it comes to engagement rings, folks, there's no one better than IDC. International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, Sarasota, and tell them that MJ sent you. We are in the beginning of hurricane season, and Weather Tight Mike wants you to know that before we get into the thick of it, they can get your new windows and doors installed. For us, we need to worry about September, typically mid to late September or October here in the Tampa Bay area, this part of Florida, West Coast. So if you've been putting off a window and door replacement project, stop. Don't put it off. Call WeatherTight Mike. Why WeatherTight Mike and WeatherTight Windows? WeatherTightWindows.com. Best around. You'll get an amazingly quality-filled product from PGT Custom Windows and Doors. That's what WeatherTight Mike sells. But it's all about installation as well. You can have a great window and door. If it's not installed right, then you end up with a pile of crap. You get everything. You get the whole shebang with WeatherTight Mike. Great product and unbelievably expert installation. WeatherTightWindows.com. People love dealing with WeatherTight Mike. I get firsthand stories from listeners that have dealt with WeatherTight Windows. WeatherTightWindows.com. Don't forget the cookies and tell them that MJ sent you. Traffic's on here, Shriner. Back in a minute.
Heavy volume on I-4 westbound from the Polk Parkway to McIntosh, again from 75 to Orange.
Morning show. And man, you got to watch out for those vegetarians.
Dude, I've been saying that for years.
Oh, man. Julian is, speaking of vegetarians, well, I could easily be a vegetarian. I love vegetables. Ask Michelle. Michelle, what did I make a special trip to Costco for with Julian after we went to dim sum on Sunday morning at China Yuan? after that, we drove over to Costco because we were kind of north up near Waters. And, of course, the Costco we go to is off of Linebaugh. And what did I go to Costco for? A special trip to Costco to get on Sunday morning.
Some vegetarian stir fry.
Well, they're just a bag of vegetables.
Oh, I thought you were getting that package. Sorry.
No. I don't buy like I don't buy like a stir fry.
I just heard you saying something about that vegetables and making a stir fry, and
I don't buy like a stir fry kit with like some kind of a crazy like all chemical filled sauce or
right. Oh, you hate that.
I hate that junk. And just the amount of salt and the sugar and all the crap in that
butter.
Yeah. What?
The butter.
I don't think there's butter in a stir fry.
No, but whenever
sauce.
like I would try to buy like a package of Brussels sprouts or corn, you'd be like, the butter, there's all that sauce on there.
Yeah,
you never let me buy it.
I don't like Green Giant like already sauced vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't want that crap.
That's the most convenient kind.
Exactly.
Right,
and then you get the ho ho ho, Green Giant.
So Kirkland, Costco, they have this like 5-pound bag of like 8 vegetables in like just a frozen stir fry mix.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But it's not like a kit where it has a sauce. It's just frozen, wholesome vegetables, and it's good. So I had to make a special trip to Costco just for that.
Great. So you eat vegetables.
Yeah.
So,
breaking news.
But,
exactly.
But the point is also, speaking about vegetarians, while we were at Costco, Julian's like, let's go see if they have those giant USDA Prime tomahawk ribeyes again. And they did, man. I'll tell you, Costco has some good meat, man. And about 2 weeks ago, Julian and I bought these we're talking like murder weapons. The bones were like 18 inches long. In fact, to get them into the pot or into my carbon steel pan on the stove, I had to go to the garage and get a hacksaw. And I had to hack my own bone. They won't hack the bones off for you. If you ask Costco, hey, can you guys trim the bone for me because it won't fit in my carbon steel pan on the stove where I need to sear them for 3 minutes on each side, they will not cut your bone.
Yeah, somebody contacted us, said it was a weight issue.
Whatever the hell. It's like, hey, just put the same sticker on, charge me the same weight.
Nope.
Charge me the same. So I had to seriously, I had to go to my garage and get a hacksaw, and I'm in my kitchen hacksawing the.
Sorry, sir.
I'm going to need to get a table saw. I'm gonna have to go to like Lowe's.
Bandsaw.
I'm gonna have to go to Lowe's. I'm gonna get one of those meat butcher bandsaws at Lowe's or Home Depot.
That would be a real chef's kitchen. Yes. Unless you have
This weekend at the Home Depot, MJ can get a bandsaw on sale for $4.99.
I mean, it's the after 4th of July.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show like the Home Depot guy. Yes. Yes, Fester?
No, I'm just saying it's the after 4th of July sale at the Home Depot.
Yeah.
You probably get it on quite a value.
All right, so where was I headed? Oh, vegetarians.
And how easily you can become one because you bought stuff at Costco.
But Julian, I could easily be a vegetarian, but now Julian is begging me to go buy those USDA Prime ribeyes bone-in at Costco, man. And they had them. When we went Sunday, these things are like 3 inches thick, and they're the size of your entire face. These things are incredible. And then the bone, it's like almost 1/10 of a mile long.
I mean, high schoolers do sprints according to the size of the bone.
All right, so you got to look out for those vegetarians, folks.
Where are you going with this?
New research. Vegetarians crave power and success more than meat eaters.
Well, that's interesting.
This is science.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out for these vegetarians, man. So vegetarians are power hungry. We got to go to the veg phones and, maybe talk to some vegetarians.
I can see how that makes sense. Vegetarians, a reasonable amount of them, have this militant stance against meat.
Oh, listen. Well, some like PETA, some of the PETA folks are militant.
Well, I'm just talking about your regular run-of-the-mill vegetarians.
Can I give you some key findings from the study?
Sure.
Vegetarians care less about benevolence, security, and conformity, but place more importance on personal success and standing apart from the crowd. And the research suggests that vegetarianism is linked to more independence, nonconformity. So this is a surprising new study. And it's turning our basic assumptions about people who choose plant-based diets upside down. It turns out that vegetarians might actually be more power-hungry, achievement-oriented, and individualistic than their carnivorous, meat-eating counterparts. Brand new study.
So they're not little like passive, mandy-pandy sitting in the corner,
That's
looking for anything. That's kind of what you think of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not saying this to be disparaging.
No.
Or Michelle, actually, you just came up with this, that some people might think that they're just vegetarians, more of like a wallflower,
Well, you think of a meat eater as a hunter. Yeah.
Me hungry.
Yeah.
Me go get meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're going to kill something to eat it. And, so you think of
No.
that as like a power play.
Should we go to the power-hungry vegetarian lines right now?
Ooh, we got a bunch of angry dyed-in-the-wool vegetarians on the line.
Are you an angry type A vegetarian? Let's go to the veg phones. 800-990-1047. Or maybe you know a vegetarian and they're a maniac. They're a power-hungry, control freak maniac. Like, is your boss a vegetarian and they're out of control? Anybody want to weigh in on this? Does anyone agree, or do you know vegetarians that are more passive? Man, I'll tell you what, some of these scientific surveys are fascinating. I mean, I'm sure 90% of them are totally full of crap, but
come over there, and I'm gonna eat your broccoli. Your cauliflower's mine, man. Don't cross us vegetarians.
Maybe should we go to the veg phone? No, I don't think we need to go to the vegetarian line. All right, Fester, I think I'm going to ask you this before. I just don't remember.
What'd you ask me, veggie boy?
Stop.
Veggie boy.
Eat your veggies.
Veg head.
Yeah.
Does your wife's Tesla have the self-driving mode?
So.
All right, stop with the voice.
What voice?
Just stop it.
All right, veggie boy.
Just talk normally.
Oh. All right, I'll talk normally.
All right,
Finally.
stop. Come on.
Go back to my New York accent.
Come on.
Talk like I normally talk.
Let's go. Come on.
So no, my wife's Tesla does not have the self-driving feature. It's an option.
So if you
and
wanted,
it's a loadable program.
If you wanted to turn it on, then you would pay what, a one-time fee or a subscription or whatever.
They offer it in a subscription form that several, I don't want to call them friends. What's below friend but not an associate?
Acquaintance?
Yes. Several acquaintances of mine who have a Tesla also.
A brush by.
Yeah, those kind of people, like on like the fifth ring of friendship.
Yeah.
They have had the subscription model for long road trips and said it's been wonderful.
Well,
so you could turn it on and off.
Yeah, but you could buy it for the month of July or for 30 days.
Oh,
or something.
interesting.
The reason why I bring this up, it's wonderful. Is it wonderful when your Tesla's self-driving feature drives into a train?
I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't see that coming. I think a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, Tesla gave everybody self-driving. They loaded it on every car.
Yeah.
So you can try it and see how you liked it.
Huh.
And it was just a little too freaky for me.
Yeah.
Because the car had to make a U-turn, in traffic. And, I was like, it felt really sketchy. The car did it fine.
You know what feels really sketchy?
Getting hit by a train?
When your Tesla's self-driving mode drives you right into a train. Yeah.
That's when all the safety features come into play.
Yeah. A Pennsylvania story. A family of 3 had to exit their Tesla in the wee hours of the morning after it decided in the assisted driving mode to turn left onto train tracks right into a train. Luckily, the train was not going fast. Man, if this train was going full speed, this family would have been terminated. Holy, the self-dying mode, self-driving mode, self-dying mode. Oh, my God.
Proceed left to die. Crossing trains. Train impact in 3, 2.
Yeah. So this was in southwestern Pennsylvania. This was in Berks County, and the Tesla was in self-driving mode. It decided to drive down the train tracks.
Yeah, I've heard of these, like, these automated cars,
Oh my God.
mistaking, tracks for streets.
Oh.
What the hell?
Was it on the tracks, like, blah, 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 and it was like a head-on collision, or it hit a train that was standing still or moving very slowly, or was it like T-boned?
Apparently, the Tesla made a left turn, drove down the railroad tracks.
I've seen that
And the family sees a train light up ahead. They quickly get out of the car.
Yeah, you put the car in
I
park
guess
and jump out.
They got out of the car. A few minutes later, a train comes barreling down. Unbelievable.
If the train wasn't moving that quickly, and I know you can't stop trains on a dime, however, if it's just kind of rolling along, they didn't see the car?
All right, now, the story would have been a little bit better if the family escaped within seconds of the train. But it turns out that there were side-by-side tracks, and the train was coming on the other set of tracks, just adjacent. So they were on the non-active track, and the train flies down the track just inches away. You've been on some of those trains where...
Yeah. Because the tracks are appropriately spaced, and the train cars are as big as they are. You'll make it through.
Yeah.
But I've been on a couple of Amtraks where you look out the window and there's nothing, and then it scares the crap out of you.
Here comes the train, which is like a foot next to you, flying down on the other side of the tracks. That's very common, like up in the Northeast, like the Northeast corridor for Amtrak, etc.
Did it sideswipe the hell out of the car then?
It does it.
Because it says it got hit, right?
The family got away unscathed. Local media photos show a local company towed the car inches away from the train that hit it. So I guess the vehicle must have been hit in some fashion, must have been sideswiped.
Dude, this has got to be submitted to Wham Bam Tesla Cam. It is. It's my favorite YouTube follow right now.
Wait a minute. Well, hold on.
You never heard of Wham Bam?
Wham Bam Tesla Cam?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and all it is videos from the Tesla that's uploaded, and it's like accident after accident after accident.
Really?
After accident after accident from all around the country.
And is the Tesla making the bad decision, or is it other drivers? Or is it the actual Tesla driver not in auto mode driving into stuff?
It's all kinds of situations, but the Tesla Cam catches a lot of stuff.
Is it really called Wham Bam Tesla Cam?
Yeah, you've never heard of it?
Yep.
No. Obviously, no, I haven't heard of Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
All right, so I type in Wham.
Uh-huh.
I just type in Wham. Right, first thing. Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
Okay.
And
is there audio?
I mean, it's like voiceover audio. You know,
Here, bring it up. I want to hear this thing. Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
Rob's Tesla was attacked by an unhinged man with a hammer. Let's start from the beginning. Rob was getting a haircut in Berkeley, California, and had parked his white Model Y on the street right outside the barber
That's like
shop.
Allison's.
Sentry mode
I think you've got 19 things playing, Fester.
Pulled up and stopped next to Rob's Tesla. Without provocation, a man with a hammer jumped out and
How
proceeded
many
to
things are
smash out
playing here?
both windows on the driver's side.
What's going on?
hold on. There we go.
Of course, Fester has 27 things playing.
I can't see what's in other
Seconds,
windows.
leading us to
My
believe this
God.
was definitely a
Anyway, all right, so Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
It's listen, MJ. When you guys are sitting at home one night looking for some entertainment, pop on the YouTube on the big old TV and watch some Wham Bam Tesla Cam.
Do you know what I came across? I came across an unbelievable report from our friends over at the Smoking Gun on the lottery winner that kicked the cop in the face at St. Pete Beach at the trade winds.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Have you seen this thing?
What was his name?
This is unbelievable.
Farting.
I remember his name was Farting.
It was James. No, it's Farthing.
Yeah.
James Farthing.
That's like a boy named Sue, man. You're always going to be in a fight with a name like Farting.
And the girlfriend, what was her name?
Ringmaster.
Fight Master.
Fight Master.
Fight Master, yeah.
The girlfriend's name was Fight Master.
Right.
So if you don't know the story, James Farthing was in prison, gets out, wins the Powerball lottery in Kentucky, then comes down to Florida for vacation after winning $167.3 million, and then gets into a fight at the Tradewinds Resort.
But he went like the very next day. Like the press conference was Thursday. He was on the plane Friday. He gets arrested Saturday. But it's that quick.
The bartender, this is crazy. The bartender calls the show from the Tradewinds to tell us the story because he gets into a fight with another customer at the bar. The cops show up. He kicks a Pinellas County deputy in the face. First of all, the guy leaving Kentucky apparently was a violation of his probation.
Yeah.
It's a big mistake, man.
You know what? I need more time than I have here. Let me tell you what I want to do. You've got to hear this update. This guy's history is insane. You want to talk about like the wrong person winning the lottery?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of somebody that lives a straight and narrow, productive life, but maybe they just never, scored big or they never made a lot of money, but just a great human being. You want somebody really nice, a real, genuine, beautiful person to win the lottery, right? Do you want a career criminal that spent decades in prison to win the freaking Powerball? All right,
He's got so many mugshots.
All right, you have got to hear the rundown of James Farthing, who brought his criminality to St. Pete Beach to the Tradewinds, and then ultimately the Tradewinds, those bastards, they fired the bartender that called into the show because she called our show unauthorized. I'm still pissed off about that. And by the way, Massimo's hired her.
Yes.
Massimo at Massimo's Fine Dining in Palm Harbor hired Anna Marie, I think is her name. And she's been working there now for, I think, almost a month. All right, you got to hear the story. Also, when we get back, shortest marriage ever? Yeah, I wonder if we can go to the phones and get some stories on short marriages. This is a crazy story. Married on a Sunday, divorced on a... hang on. I'll fill in the blank next.
Been a hell of a week.
Yeah, baby. Been a hell of a day. All right, hold on. 7:19, man. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next, so don't move. Hey, let me tell you about my great friends over at Veterans Ford. Now, Lorenzo, friend of the show, Lorenzo is the managing partner and the general manager over at Veterans Ford, so he's got a chunk of the place. And you get an owner. I mean, literally, you go to Veterans Ford, you'll see Lorenzo sitting like right at the main counter in the showroom. If you want a great experience with a Ford dealer, you go to Veterans Ford. People love them, whether it's from the purchasing side by buying, or whether it's the service side. I've had numerous people that I know that had some bad Ford service experiences at other dealerships, and they're like, "Hey, let me try Veterans Ford." And listen, Joe the plumber is one of them. Gonzalez Plumbing. Joe the plumber had just a miserable time at another Ford dealer. Then obviously listens to the show, heard me talk about Veterans Ford, decides to get his vehicle serviced at Veterans, and he's like, "Oh my God, I wish I'd been going there for years." It's night and day. People love Veterans Ford. The service is fantastic when you need Ford service, but when you need to buy a Ford vehicle, score a great deal. Walk in and tell them you want the MJ deal, and they will really bend over backwards to get you into the vehicle at the price that you need. Car, SUV, pickup truck, whatever you need, Veterans Ford, Linebaugh, and the Veterans Expressway, and tell them that MJ sent you. How'd you like to save 10% on your garage door service or installation of a new opener or a garage door? Yeah, you can save 10% when you mention me, MJ, with Banco. Everybody with a garage door is going to need garage door service at some point, and this is where Banco comes in. They're the best. Flat out, the only folks I allow to touch my garage doors at my house, it's Banco. The slogan, "You can bank on Banco," is 100% accurate. Bank on the best. They are the best. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. They've got the best crews in town. They don't use subcontractors. Everyone is an employee. I've had such great interactions with the service folks at Banco over the years. I use them in my house. You should use Banco at your house. Any service issue, broken spring, you need a new opener, any problem, you need a new door, hurricane-rated door, a door to make your curb appeal look better. It's Banco. BancoDoors.com. Tell them that MJ sent you. Get 10% off. 7:22. We're back with an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Man, the lottery guy, the story is nuts. Next.
In Pinellas.
with this Powerball lottery winner. Holy crap. Welcome back, everybody. You heard it. We're starting an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ right now. No commercials, no music. It's just nonstop content. We do it every day about this time. 7:26, 7:27. It happens to be 7:27 right now. This is crazy. Hey, thanks to the Smoking Gun and Bill Bastone and the whole crew there. And if you notice, this is like a national website, but they lean heavy on Florida, and they lean heavy like on Pinellas County.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah, they get all kinds of police reports. They get stories that are insane that like local media, like the local TV stations, that they don't even report on the stories and the Smoking Gun because they scour like arrest reports. And, local TV, let's face it, just not what it used to be. No. It's just local TV is just local news, just nowhere near. Ask Michelle. Michelle, how often am I yelling at the TV? What the hell is this person doing on the air in market number 13? What are they doing on the air? This is a huge, there's 3 million people plus in this TV market. And they're hiring like some of the reporters and anchors that some of the local stations are hiring these days are just god awful. They're terrible. Terrible.
You are a curmudgeon beyond your years.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not.
You're like a curmudgeon of like a
dude
82-year-old.
When local TV news quality was better in 1996 than it is in 2025, that's a problem. All right, let me get back to the story. The lottery, this is an insane. Did you read the narrative, Michelle? Did you read this?
I've already read his record.
So this is new. It's a compendium of like this guy's criminal history. The dude that won the Powerball in Kentucky decides to get into a car, drive to Florida with his girlfriend, Fightmaster. That's her last name, Fightmaster. I mean, really.
Would he have been picked up by the parole board if he would have flown?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
He was not supposed to leave Kentucky without, I guess, permission from his probation officer.
That's how that goes. Yeah, that's right.
So recently released from prison, the dude is in and out of prison for decades and then wins $167.3 million in the Powerball. What happened to, it's like the Billy Joel song, only the good die young, only the bad win the lottery. Is that it? A persistent felony offender. And, of course, he came down to the trade winds at St. Pete Beach and then kicks a Pinellas County deputy sheriff in the face during this altercation. Nuts. In the 2 months since winning a Powerball ticket, catapulted him into the 1%. James Farthing has spent most of his time residing in Florida and Kentucky, specifically county jails in those two states.
Yeah.
On April 28th, Farthing claimed a $167.3 million jackpot, the largest in Kentucky lottery history. He had purchased the winning $2 ticket at a convenience store in Georgetown, Kentucky, a city where he shares an address with Linda Grizzle.
His old lady, that's his mom.
His mother's name is Linda Grizzle. That's like a phony name I'd come up with. Yeah, who's calling? It's Jerry Grizzle.
I mean, both of the names involved sound like crank call names.
We've got Farthing, Fightmaster, and Grizzle. It's like all names you'd make up for a crank call. All right, his mother's 77. Flanked by Grizzle and his girlfriend, a beaming Farthing was presented with an oversized check by lottery officials who announced that mother and son would be splitting the 9-figure windfall. Farthing, 50, was not quoted in the Kentucky Lottery press release, which only identified him by his middle and last name.
So you'll do a search, and it's Shannon
Farthing.
Farthing. And, there's no criminal record. You put in his first name, and then his record pops up.
All right, so following the Powerball announcement, Farthing and his girlfriend flew to so I guess they did fly to Florida.
You say drive. That's a long drive.
No. So they flew here to Florida to celebrate the big Powerball win. Before traveling south, however, Farthing failed to take care of one crucial matter, and that was getting permission from his parole officer to leave the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Farthing has been characterized as a persistent felony offender. That's who I want to win the Powerball, a persistent felony offender.
Listen, it's truly random. You'd have no way of influencing it.
He has a 16-page rap sheet and a dizzying criminal record that spans 35 years. If you want to talk about a bad apple, this is a freaking bad freaking apple. Includes convictions in at least 9 counties from every corner of Kentucky's penal code. According to court records, Farthing strangled a girlfriend, sold cocaine to an undercover police officer, or informant rather, escaped from a prison work detail, bribed the corrections officer to deliver Xanax and oxycodone into a state facility, possessed stolen firearms, even involved his mother in marijuana smuggling, for which they were both indicted. So even Grizzle, Linda Grizzle, was indicted in a felony marijuana operation.
We're going to take Grizzle down.
Farthing has been locked up in at least 25 different correctional institutions where he has spent in aggregate nearly 30 years in custody.
Yeah.
3 freaking decades almost in custody. This guy gets out and wins the Powerball.
I know. It's
What the?
How does he find the time to get arrested so much when he's in jail for so long?
How did he find time to buy a Powerball ticket?
I mean, his freedom years, or his at least out of jail years, have been so few.
During that time, Farthing continued to commit crimes while incarcerated. So he's in jail and he's still committing crimes.
Yeah, I guess they can do that to you, too.
Compiled a prison disciplinary record rife with assaults, narcotics possession, loan sharking, gambling, drug smuggling, positive tests for alcohol, cocaine, marijuana, and depressants while he's in jail? He was also cited for an improper relationship with a female canteen staffer. He was getting it on with a canteen staffer? The one selling the oodles of noodles? The cup of soups?
Let's hope Fight Master doesn't get a hold of her.
Oh, my God. He had the improper relationship with the canteen staffer, charging inmates for the return of their stolen items. Wait, he would steal other inmates' items in prison and then charge them to get it back?
That's a hell of a racket.
Yeah.
And sending large amounts of money to people internal affairs cannot connect to him. That's weird. So there is a dizzying collage of all his mugshots. Fester, how many mugshots? How many mugshots are there?
I mean,
like
40?
It's ridiculous.
Oh, I mean,
the number of mugshots that the smoking gun compiled, it's insane. And again, this is the guy that then 42 mugshots, according to Andrew, are all compiled.
I didn't count
Wow.
them all.
And
I
this
give
is
a
the guy.
guess.
This is the guy that comes down to St. Pete Beach and then gets into a fight at the Trade Winds Resort and then ends up kicking a Pinellas County deputy in the face. So he's gonna have to face those. That's felony battery on a law enforcement officer.
Right.
I mean, he could do 5 to 10. I'm sure right here. I don't know what the statute says for felony battery on a Leo, but he could do. I would imagine 5-10 years here.
That's going to be after he finishes his time in Kentucky.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So the amount of mugshots, the heavily tattooed Farthing has Mama's Bad Boy inked across his chest, regularly denied parole in part due to a myriad of institutional infractions. In a November 22 denial order, the parole board cited Farthing's poor institutional adjustment, his drugs and alcohol involvement, and history of parole violations in ruling that the inmate is not a good parole risk at this time. Again, how many times can I say, and this is the guy that gets out and then wins the Powerball to the tune of $167.3 million.
Just so deserving.
Jeez. When he did secure his freedom, Farthing, on multiple occasions, proceeded to violate terms of his release, was returned to custody. For example, 4 months after being freed from prison, in 2016, Farthing had his parole revoked when he tried to game a drug test in an attempt to hide his use of Xanax. In 2021, his parole was revoked after he tested positive for marijuana. This cycle of parole violations added a total of 8 years to his time behind bars, during which he worked for 80 cents an hour as a unit janitor and recreational aide. His prison employment, however, was far from exemplary. Once, an administrator recommended the inmate's dismissal from a yard work assignment, writing, "Farthing has not been a very good worker since day one. Pays other people to do his work."
It seems like he has a little system here.
Yeah.
A day into his recent short-lived Florida vacation, Farthing allegedly punched a guest in the face during an 11 p.m. argument at the Trade Winds Resort in St. Pete Beach. When a cop sought to break up the fight, Farthing kicked the Pinellas County deputy sheriff in the face in an attempt to injure or incapacitate myself, according to the arrest report written by the deputy. He refused then to place his hands behind his back and attempted to flee on foot out of the hotel.
Wow. You can't get that far on Gulf Boulevard.
Yeah, Deputy Nicholas Oreo Statico said that the kick left him with pain in his face, swelling, redness under his right eye. He was arrested and booked into the Pinellas County Jail for battery on a law enforcement officer, a felony, and misdemeanor counts of resisting police and battery. In addition to the Florida charges, a fugitive warrant was lodged against him for violating his Kentucky parole, not securing travel permission. Yeah. After several weeks in Florida, he was extradited in late May to Kentucky, where he was detained in the Scott County lockup. Aware that their inmate was a newly wealthy individual, Kentucky jailers kept his name and photo off the online jail register to avoid publicity. So
he's...
According to the Kentucky Parole Board, Farthing waived his right to probable cause and final revocation hearings, opting instead to serve an additional month in custody.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was freed from the Scott County Jail last week.
Wow.
So is he going to return to Florida? Is he going to be a fugitive from justice here in Florida? Is he going to be able to, is Florida going to be able to get him back down here to Pinellas County to face the charges of battery on a law enforcement officer?
Kentucky wouldn't extradite him with charges pending. He has, according to the story, a scheduled court something or other on July 14th.
So
I think he had a lawyer appear for him last time or file.
Yeah, that's days away. So I wonder if he's actually going to return here to Florida. He's going to do time.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be a guest of the Florida State Penitentiary.
Maybe he wants to hit all 50 states.
I'm about to say, the guy wanted a Florida vacation.
Yeah.
He got one.
Now he's going to get one on the courtesy of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's rap sheet is just unbelievable. Again, I didn't even read everything. Listen to this. Upon his release, this is, he was like in prison for 2.5 years for different cases. Upon his release, this is up in Kentucky. He lived in Lexington, drove a Cadillac coupe, and committed vehicle break-ins and other property crimes. He was also caught with 4 stolen rifles, burglary tools, was busted for cocaine trafficking.
Now, this is all back in his history.
Oh, yeah, this is insane.
This guy, man.
But even while in prison, I'm reading a report here, a part of that report. He got into an argument with another inmate over the TV remote control.
That's a big deal.
He struck him in the face.
He kicked his face in because they were arguing over what the show to watch, and they were arguing over the remote control.
He got put in the shoe.
In December of 2010, Farthing again pleaded guilty to felony contraband. This time, he bribed a corrections officer to smuggle in packages containing tobacco, pot, painkillers, and more than 300 Xanax pills smuggled into the facility where he was incarcerated. It's unbelievable. I didn't even get to all this crap.
It goes on and on and on.
And, when we first did this story, I could look him up on the Kentucky online offender lookup, but it is not coming up now. Nothing about him is coming up.
And, of course, the brush at the Trade Winds. The bartender, I think it was Anna Marie, the bartender from the Trade Winds, called the show, and she was right there and watched the whole fight with the other guest at the Trade Winds. She was there when the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office showed up.
She's going to be called to testify if there's a trial.
And she witnessed Farthing kick the deputy in the face. She called our show and gave us the whole story. And I thought was a very good representative of the Trade Winds. But the Trade Winds, sons of bitches, they fired her for calling the MJ Morning Show.
That's the way the wind blows.
And by the way, she has since been hired by Massimo's in Palm Harbor. Fine eclectic dining. If you haven't been to Massimo's, you're looking for a great dinner, you're looking for a great night out, you're looking for a special meal, go to Massimo's in Palm Harbor and tell them MJ sent you. And ask for Anna Marie, the former Trade Winds bartender. She's now working at Massimo's. Apparently she's doing a good job.
We're all wrapped up in this story.
Yeah.
Man. That's incredible.
Yeah, 'cause I've been friends with Massimo. How long now? 20 years?
Oh, easily.
Something like that. I mean, so what a freaking story. All right, moving along. Shortest marriages ever.
So when you say shortest marriage,
Shortest, did I say that right?
shortest.
Shortest marriages ever.
When you say shortest marriage ever, I instantly think of Britney Spears. And remember, she was like married to like Jason
Yeah.
Alexander, not
Uh-huh.
the guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
For like
Yeah, how long was that?
3 days or two,
Or
like
24 hours.
yeah, like-
it was something ridiculous.
Hey, Fester.
yeah.
Leave Britney alone.
I didn't do anything to Britney. I support her and her freedom.
Right.
But she's the one that did this. I mean, she was married.
How long?
I got to look it up, but it was so short.
55 hours.
Okay, there. Oh, yeah,
that was a Vegas marriage, right?
Yeah, it was like they got married on
Like one of those drive-through or Elvis's marriage hut or whatever.
in 2004, 55 hours. Her and a guy named Jason Alexander,
Yeah.
who I have no idea what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
Probably working at an In-N-Out
Well,
burger.
I saw a story. A couple was married on Sunday, divorced on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's a
The only thing better if it was a Monday divorce, but they lasted a couple of days at least. So now this was a Reddit thread, and it was just a discussion on the Ask Reddit. What's the fastest you've ever seen a marriage end? I do want to go to phones on this. I'd like to grab a couple of calls, whether it's you or somebody you know.
Oh, man.
What are some of the shortest marriages that you have ever witnessed? So it might be you, or it might be a friend, a sister, a brother, a coworker. Give us a buzz. I'd love to hear some ridiculous short marriage stories. And what was the catalyst? What was the cause of the short marriage? You get married, most likely, on a Saturday or a Sunday. And how long did it last? A week, a month? Anybody have some awfully short marriage stories? Let's go. Hit the phones. 800-990-1047. For me, I think the entertainment value is here. The shortness of the marriage, but also
why?
Why? Yeah, what was the cause of the breakup? If you have a great short marriage story, again, it could be you or it could be somebody you know. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Grab a couple of calls.
Dude, have you ever had buyer's remorse? Have you ever bought anything and you look at it the next day or 2 days later and you're like, what the hell did I do? I mean, that's the situation with these marriages. You get married, maybe you have a honeymoon right away. You look over at the person, you're like, what the hell did I get myself involved in?
Michelle, while Andrew's screening,
Yeah.
do we know any really short marriages? Can you think of anything come to mind of people that we know or we know of?
I really can't.
I mean, I knew a guy who got married to a woman, and she had a square head. That's how I remember her. But they were married. Yeah, it was
What do you
amazing.
mean? What, like a blockhead? What do you mean a square head?
Like when you looked at her face, her,
like an old TV set?
her bottom jowls area made 45-degree turns. Her whole face looked square. She was a lovely person, but she had a square head. And he's like,
Like one of those square Japanese watermelons
Yeah,
that sell for $1,000?
Yeah, her name was Jen, and my friend Nick. He's like, I'm getting married to Jen. I'm like, Jen with the square head. And he's like, shut up, man.
Hold on,
her.
I think I've heard this. I think you've talked about squarehead lady before.
Jen Squarehead.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you've talked about this.
And are you still friends with your friend?
Well, not after I called his wife a squarehead.
You know what her
Yeah.
favorite TV show was?
SpongeBob Squarehead.
Exactly. Square.
Squarehead.
Hey,
But they were married for 8 months. They had this big wedding and they had this big honeymoon in Ireland, and then they're just broken up.
8 months?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what the what?
big wedding, huge honeymoon trip, and then 8 months. Hey, Sandra's in Spring Hill. Sandra, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Sandra, what is the shortest marriage that you're aware of?
I was legally separated after 13 days.
Oh, it's you. 13 days?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
All right, I got to ask some questions. First of all, how old were you when you got married, Sandra?
It was my first marriage, so young and stupid. I believe I was 18.
All right, and how stupid were you?
Very.
All right,
Very.
so how old was the guy that you married?
20?
So you were 18, he was 20. Was his name Jim Bob by any chance?
No, but it was Joe.
Okay. So what happened? What caused the split after 13 days?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what was going on. It was one of those. I only knew him for a couple months.
Oh, great.
And kind of threw myself into things. He was from New York. I worked on the road for an inventory company. I went on the road, and I had went to lunch, and he called me and was telling me everything that I was doing, and he was over 150 miles away from me, and he didn't know anybody that was around me. So it was kind of concerning. When it happened the second time, the next day, I got kind of creeped out, and he wouldn't tell me anything, and so...
All right, Sandra, did you get divorced or you just got the marriage annulled?
Because in Illinois, that was not possible.
So you had to file for divorce?
I did. It actually took me 8 months to find him to get the divorce.
All right, so 13 days of marriage, finding him for 8 months, and then how long did the whole process take to get divorced after just 13 days of marriage?
It was actually, in total, 8 months.
Oh, so it was 8 months total to get the... Well, so if you took you 8 months to find them, how...
I mean, they were only married 13 days.
I had to send divorce papers to 6 different addresses.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that sucks.
And he finally sent a setback from where I don't know, but there was no return address, but he finally sent a setback sign.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Sandra. How about Josh in Wesley Chapel? Josh, was he on line 4? Josh, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Josh.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, what's the story?
All right, so this happened about 20 years ago, so some of the details are a little foggy. But a couple that I worked with, I can't remember if it was the bride or the groom, but one of them got just a little too intoxicated at the wedding, and therefore the other person, before the ceremony was even over, canceled the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Was it before or after the I do's?
What?
It was it was after the I do's, but it was before the evening was over. The wedding was also over.
Holy
so was the
crap.
marriage.
Did they already get married technically? Did they have their marriage certificate or they didn't even get that yet?
I believe they had all that. Again, it was a while ago, but
Wow.
I heard the story. I wasn't there, but I heard it from multiple people, and I was like, there's no way that happened. But the people I knew that were at the wedding said it was 100% factual.
Wow, that's even better than married on Sunday, divorced on Tuesday. That's
kind of like that blind date experience, where I guess the whichever party it was didn't know that the other one was going to get all drunk.
All boozed up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, Josh, good story. Thanks. How about Cindy in Clearwater? Cindy, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, good. All right. Good, I'm driving and have my hands free. Yeah, I'm a notary.
Oh, by the way, didn't a new hold on a sec, Cindy. So on July 1 in Florida, you're not allowed to hold your cell phone, right? Didn't that just start?
Correct.
Yeah, so previously you could not text and drive in Florida, but on July 1, just a week ago, new Florida law went into effect. You cannot even hold your phone while driving.
Oh, correct.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
I got my 10 and 2 on my handle, and I have this nice speaker, hands-free car.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. All right, so you're a notary. What happened?
Okay, so I had my friends ask me if I could, perform a marriage ceremony for their friends. And I knew knew part of the people, but I really didn't know who I was marrying. But I had my dad's funeral going on that weekend. I said, well, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I could do it on Monday. And so they were coming from Michigan and Ohio, and I said, we can do it Monday, Memorial Day. And they said, oh, that's great. And I said, now make sure that they get their applications, because they were in Ocala. I said they need to get their marriage application, because I can't marry them before 3 days. They have to have that. And they said, oh, so they applied in Ocala. That's the important part. So we performed the ceremony on Monday, Memorial Day. It was really great. I even did the photography for it, too, on top of that. Great pictures I had for it. And Tuesday morning, the good little notary person I am, I had that certificate sent and being sent out in the mail before I went to work.
Yep.
To go to Ocala. And I get this weird phone call at 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
Don't send it in. Don't mail it.
Yeah, he says, "Do you still have that certificate?"
Oh.
I said, "No, I mailed it in to Ocala." And he goes, "Oh gosh." I go, "What's wrong?" Nothing. I found out he called Ocala's recording department.
Yep.
Had them watch for that piece of mail.
Oh, so they didn't actually register it, or they didn't. What was the word, Michelle? Record it.
Yeah, the recording department. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure the recording department didn't enter it.
Was he successful in the interception?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable.
When I found out by Friday what happened, I asked my friend, because she was friends with them. She told me.
All right, so what caused this whole thing to collapse?
I have no earthly idea. He just, all of us, they've been together, from what I understood, was like 5 years.
Oh, jeez.
And
then the marriage doesn't even last 5 minutes.
And I know. There was the shortest marriage. I was like, oh, my God. I
Wow.
said, you got to be kidding me. And the interesting part about the thing is I find out later on, like a year later, they got married again.
Oh, my God. I thought you were going to tell us that you took a coat hanger, you put a piece of gum on the end of the coat hanger, and you're trying to fish it out of the mailbox on the corner.
That's how they do it.
He was up there and got that thing and didn't let them record.
Cindy, thanks for the call. Have a great day. All right, two more quickies here, and then I got to move on. Michelle, we got to deal with the complainer that wants you fired. Yeah, we got to talk a little update on that. So,
okay.
All right, Serena in Lakeland, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Serena.
Hello. My marriage lasted 3 months.
Wow. Why did it only last 3 months?
Well, I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't want him to be a father to my child.
Oh, so he was. Hold on, you married him, but he was so bad you didn't want him to be a father to a kid.
Right. After 3 months, I knew I didn't want to be married, and I didn't want him to father, you know?
Gotcha. And you had the kid?
Well, yeah, he's 41 now.
Where's the father?
And was the father part of the kid's life at all?
Always. He still is.
All righty. Thank you. All right, Racy Stacy. I don't know if this counts. I'm looking at Racy Stacy. 1.5 years? I don't consider that a short marriage, Racy Stacy.
Well, we were together 5 years with 2 kids. As soon as we said I do, he flipped the script, became abusive. I said I don't after 1.5 years. I filed divorce. He would not even divorce me and sign the papers until 2006.
Okay, hold on.
I ended up stabbing him.
Stacy, stop. This, what you need is therapy. And that's not what this segment is.
Are you hanging up on Racy Stacy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, 1.5 years after being together, you essentially had a 6.5-year relationship that ended in.
Oh, wait a second. Andrew tells me there was a stabbing involved.
All right, let's get to the stabbing.
Oh, yeah.
Get to the stabbing.
Yeah, I did stab him. He slammed me between the bathroom door and the door frame over 50 times and then tried to endanger.
Wait a minute, hold on. He's trying to bust into the bathroom like, here's Johnny.
No, he slammed me between the bathroom door and the door frame over 50 times while I was still trying to recoup.
Hold on. Hold on. He was slamming you in the bathroom door?
Yes, over 50 times. I had an entire door frame of bruises.
All right, Fester, I think you want to end this, right?
Stacey, hang up on Stacy. Stacy, first of all, domestic violence is wrong under any circumstances.
Of course it is.
However, that's not what this segment is. We're looking for hey, I've been married for 10 days or the last woman married for 3 months, whatever the reason. Yeah. You're coming in, I was married for 1.5 years, but I knew him for 5 years before. Hey, this is not what the segment is.
Hey, Racy Stacy, please send your complaints to Fester, okay?
That's fine. You know what I'll do with
You got it. I definitely will. I'll text him.
All right, listen, Racy Stacy,
we love you, Stacy.
Yeah, you can't hit it out of the park with every call.
No, I mean,
all right?
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, but you can pull up the court records and everything.
Nobody That's your business, is what I'm saying.
Racy Stacy, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
And then, speaking of weddings, just one last thing here.
Maybe Stacy can call back in.
Speaking, this is Michelle. What do you think of this? A bride gets a 3-page letter after the wedding describing how disappointing the wedding was from a guest.
Just like a regular guest, not one of her, maid of honor.
It was a family member.
What?
Yeah, the bride did a social media video. Kristen Carroll revealed that a disgruntled family member sent a 3-page letter complaining about how disappointing her May 25th wedding was. The bride explained that the family member, whom she is not close to, but a family member, took issue with the presence of alcohol at the reception. Like a holy roller against drinks at the reception. Yeah, initially posted the review on Facebook, but then was sent a letter. So the family member posted a review of the wedding on like a Facebook page that all kinds of family members were on, reviewing the wedding and listing her areas of disappointment.
Yeah, I mean that relative is about to be excommunicated by this family.
I agree.
I mean, listen, you want to poop on the wedding like right after it happens as our guest? I don't need to talk to that aunt anymore.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. For those that haven't heard, the complainer, the complainer call about Michelle.
She's out of control.
Yeah. By the way, I've taken some of the excerpts from the complainer call.
Yes.
Now, if you haven't heard the actual complainer call, hey Andrew, do we have the whole call? Yeah, here it is. So this is the whole phone call. And this was a listener complaining. And by the way, we now have some excerpts. We have some sound bites from this call that we're going to be able to use like nonstop, like evergreen.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So let me just play the call again. This is a caller after we did, what was the content we did?
I was doing a Diddy update
Right.
about the, I think it was in regards to the defense's closing argument.
Right. So Michelle was doing her legal minute on the Diddy trial. And then, according to the timestamp on this complaint that went to our program director, Rick, the guy called in like 8 minutes after you finished the feature.
Who's here to even answer the phone?
It went to like the general voicemail box.
We have a voicemail
Yeah,
box
we
here?
do. I guess if you call the front desk, there's like a general voicemail box where you can leave a message. And this guy left this.
Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle? She's talking about having
oh, gotta believe it.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And there's kids that listen.
Right.
Teenagers that listen.
Well, first of all, school was out.
She's just ranting and raving.
Yep.
You all need to get rid of her.
Yes.
She's riding on MJ's coattails too long, and she's out of control.
What the heck does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean, listen, I'll tell you right now, Michelle's been running a little loose for about 2 months now.
From now on, whenever Michelle's like out of line.
Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle?
I'm just going to play little sound bites here.
You all need to get rid of her.
Yep.
And she's just ranting and raving.
Yep. And just ranting and raving. That's right. And what else she been doing?
She's riding on MJ's coattails too long.
Way too long. Yep.
And she's out of control.
Out of control.
I'm out of control. I mean, ranting and raving. I don't know. Those coattails
and
are
she's just ranting and raving.
Your coattails
you all
are
need to get rid of her.
just so fun.
So, MJ.
Yeah.
You should delete all of those sound effects.
Why?
Here's why.
Why?
You, for the time being,
Right.
in whatever situation we have going on, you enjoy having Michelle here.
I do. I think Michelle, listen, 99% of the listeners thoroughly enjoy Michelle on the show, and they don't want me to get rid of her. They don't agree with.
Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle?
Yeah, they don't agree with this guy.
There's no you getting rid of anything or anybody in this. Michelle is doing this out of,
It's a charity.
a charity.
This is a charity case.
This is my philanthropic contribution.
I mean, she stopped working at the soup kitchen so she could come hang out with us every morning.
Yeah, it's like Michelle is volunteering at like a home.
If you told Michelle, hey, today's the last day we're going to use you on the show, you know what she would say? Thank you.
Yeah.
She's out of Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle?
That song comes in handy now after that guy's call.
Yeah. Let him call back.
Yeah,
Come on, call in, buddy.
By the way, I've got we first played the call yesterday, and I do have an email of support. Morning, MJ. I love the fact that Michelle, your lovely wife, is with y'all. She's a great addition to the show. That guy doesn't deserve to listen to your show, period.
Yeah.
Who gives a what he thinks?
That's right.
More importantly, don't let your kids listen if you don't like people telling you the way it is.
Yeah.
What a schmuck. Anyway, y'all have a great day. And Michelle, if you happen to read this, you're awesome. Love, Robert. Here, you like this email for your files?
No, thank you, Robert. I believe you.
There's Robert's
Okay.
email.
I mean, if we're going to put that call in your permanent file, we should put that email in your permanent file.
All right, wait a minute. Then Phil writes in, if you listen to the voicemail of the guy complaining about Michelle, it sort of sounds like Ice-T.
Really?
Wait a minute.
Ice-T from Law and Order?
Hang on a minute.
Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle? And she's just ranting and raving. Y'all need to get rid of her. She's riding on MJ's coattails too long.
All right, wait a minute. We did pull some Ice-T. Hang on.
You see the resemblance, Nina Tremaine? This little girl was raped, murdered, and tossed in a dumpster. Don't get in my way, lady.
You and now all my bitches.
I do hear the resemblance in the delivery.
It sounds like Ice-T from Law and Order.
Yeah.
Help me, I'm bleeding. Shut up, she should have killed you. You're under arrest.
Oh, you should just take that and add it in there as if that's part of the call.
Ice-T.
Help me, I'm bleeding. Shut up, she should have killed you. You're under
Y'all need
arrest.
to get rid of her. Yes. When are you all going to get rid of Michelle?
There might be some similarity there.
Ice-T's talk pattern is he pauses after each sentence.
Yeah.
Or each statement, not even a whole sentence.
Kind of like the caller.
He'll just take a pause and then pick it up again. Out of control.
I love him, though, on that show.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Ice-T.
Yeah.
What about Ice-T?
But
how does this tie into Ice-T?
Listen, you believe it or not, folks, just wait for me to wrap this all together.
You want to talk about Michelle's car protection package now?
I'm having Car Shield.
Shield.
It's Ice-T for Car Shield.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, do you think he's driving anything that's out of warranty? He's driving all new cars that are totally in warranty, right? All right, so speaking of Law and Order, remember I said earlier I have something slightly morbid to talk about?
Yeah.
So Michelle loves Law and Order. I think we've talked about this. Michelle is a Law and Order aficionado, a fan, the original Law and Order SVU. So right now Michelle is rewatching or filling in the blanks. So was it on Peacock?
Yeah.
All right. So on Peacock, Michelle's now on season 4, episode 3 of Law and Order SVU, and of course that's the version that has Ice-T.
Yeah, but you take the commercials out; they're only like 45 minutes long or something like
that. Right.
They fly right by.
Last night, Michelle's watching an episode, and Jay Thomas pops up. Do you know Jay Thomas is the actor? And former radio guy?
The comedian actor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of him.
So Jay Thomas was on Murphy Brown for like 11 years.
Yeah.
He played Jerry Gold on Murphy Brown. He was the coach in Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yeah.
I mean, so Jay Thomas, he did a lot of things. And he was a really good actor. I was always impressed with Jay Thomas. He was on Cheers for 9 episodes. I'm looking at his sheet here. I went to his IMDb, and Jay Thomas died in 2017. He had throat cancer, unbelievably. He was also a longtime morning guy on Power 106 in Los Angeles. He did morning radio in New York City. And then he had a very accomplished resume of TV and movies. He was Coach Bill Meister in Mr. Holland's Opus. That's a phenomenal movie.
Oh, it's one of my faves.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Mr. Holland's Opus, Richard Dreyfuss, you got to go watch that movie.
I'm going to watch it today.
Just incredible. We did watch it a couple of years ago. We did rewatch that movie. Anyway, so Jay Thomas, in later years, he was on Boston Legal.
Okay.
He did Cold Case.
Yeah.
He was Ray Donovan. Remember, he had a whole bunch of episodes on Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
So what's the significance of a guy that's died 8 years ago?
Well,
Yeah.
this is going to turn into something completely different. So why am I bringing up Jay Thomas?
Because we saw him last night on TV.
Saw him on TV. It turned out that when I went to New York to do morning radio on WOR, we were up in New York for 5 years. And iHeart moved me from Tampa, and they moved me to New York and said, hey, you want to, start a new morning show on WOR radio in New York? And in 2015, I did.
I told you it would never work.
They paired me up with a dude named Len Berman, who was the dullest,
That's why.
Yeah.
I said, get rid of the old man, bring me up, we'll make jokes.
Jeez. But the reason why I'm bringing up Jay Thomas is Jay Thomas was one of the individuals that they were considering pairing me up with.
Oh,
and that would have been much better.
Absolutely.
So I actually did a couple of demo shows with Jay Thomas for WOR New York.
And they picked you over him?
No, it was going to be both of us.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it was going to be potentially me and Jay Thomas.
Oh, what an awful name of a show. MJ and J.
Well, yeah. No, because I use my real name. Yeah, I didn't use MJ up there. I used my real name. All right, so why am I bringing this up? When we saw Jay Thomas on TV on this old 2002 episode of Law & Order SVU last night,
Yeah.
I said to Michelle, oh, Jay Thomas, oh, he was so nice. Talked to him so many times on the phone. We did a couple of demo shows together.
Like in the studio together?
We did it on ISD.
Okay.
So we did, he was in California, I believe, and I was, here in Florida, and we just did some demo shows, and they sounded pretty good. But they wanted to pair me up with this Berman dud.
Let's find the oldest guy in New York.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, because they thought, he was a sports guy on Channel 4 WNBC for like 35 years.
They thought he had more gravitas than Jay Thomas, which was just.
All right.
That makes as much sense as pairing you with Al Keck.
Where?
And I love Al.
Where's this going?
Where? Please, get there.
I said to Michelle, I still have Jay Thomas's phone number in my contacts in my phone.
All right.
And I called it up. Is that pretty morbid?
Yeah,
So
disgusting.
Jay Thomas died August 24th of 2017 of cancer. I mean, really talented guy. So if they would have hired him, he wouldn't have lasted long with me up there. All right. So he passed away. This guy was a really talented dude, but I have his phone number. And
So we're calling dead people now?
no, well, that's my question. My question is, when somebody passes away and you still have their phone number in your address book, do you ever call up to see what happens?
No.
Is their voicemail still there? Like they're not going to pick up. They're not going to pick up, obviously.
Stop.
What?
You have this weird obsession
with what?
With death. Because that's what you do. Every time someone's on the screen, whether we're watching this Law & Order, SV or whatever, if the person is like a little bit older, you'll say, hit pause so I can look up that person. And then you go, oh, they just died last June. Oh. And it's a weird thing. So now you're calling a phone number because you happen to have his phone number and he's dead.
Is that weird?
Yes, that's really weird.
Is that strange?
So
yes.
Let's call it and see if his voicemail's still active. Let's see if his descendants have been paying his bill for the last 8 years. Right? That's what it means.
It's an 805 area code.
Where's that?
Subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
That is true.
This message in error.
The subscriber is not in service.
It was not an error. He hasn't been in service
since 2017, August.
August of 2017.
Yeah, all right. So that was Jay Thomas's cell number. But, and also, can I point, I feel bad. People that I know that have passed away, I can't delete them from my contact list.
That's not me.
I feel bad.
You kick the bucket, I drop your number the next day. I don't need you. I mean, I'm not going to call you anymore. I've probably had, I don't know, half a dozen people I know have died over the last couple of years. I mean, I've known people who have died.
There's a good buddy of mine, a radio guy that passed away, and he's one of the few that I followed on Instagram. I can't delete his. I can't bring myself to unfollow him.
Well, you know what? I don't delete him because I'm always worried that what if a family member does inherit that phone number and then they try to call me? At least I'll know that what the relation is and I'll answer the phone. Because if you delete it, then it's
No way. If you're a dead guy's relative calling me off their phone, leave a message. I'll call you back.
So you think it's morbid that I called Michelle?
Yeah, that's just weird.
What
You need some therapy or
What
something.
if we would have said, hey, it's JJJ. Hey, thanks for calling. I can't come to the phone right now, but I'll leave a message. I'll get back to you soon. I mean, that would have been awful.
The guy was an amazing talent, and he died at 69. I mean, way too young.
Yeah.
Way too young.
What's not too young?
I think 78.
What?
78.
So if somebody dies at 77, you're like, oh, so young.
So young.
Hmm.
So young.
You did ask him for a very specific number, Fester.
69. 69 is not too young.
Speaking of songs.
I think anything over 50, it's like, well, he had it coming.
Speaking of
A
songs.
decent life.
I'm moving along.
All right.
Oh, well, we can't talk more.
Or we could take phone calls about people that.
The deaf phone lines?
Do you have any stories of calling people's phone lines that, you know? All right, we'll leave it alone. All right, so speaking of songs, a few minutes ago I played the Michelle Should She Stay or Should She Go song.
Mm-hmm.
The song from yesterday is just incredible, Fester's Ride.
And it just fell out of nowhere. We just kind of thought of it, typed it in,
Well,
and then AI
no,
did its thing.
no. It didn't fall out of nowhere.
Okay, the comment was...
A listener suggested... A listener sent me a direct message on Instagram. And folks, again, multiple ways to contact me. If you ever want to comment on anything we do on the show, if you have any ideas for the show, if you have any inside information, you have some gossip, do you know something that I need to know, that everyone needs to know? Do you want to drop a bomb? Do you have any inside gossip? Do you have breaking news, information? You can always email me. My private personal email, I'm the only one that touches it, is mj@mjmorningshow.com. mj@mjmorningshow.com. Private email. Or my DMs are open on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Get a DM. Hey, MJ, you ought to do one of those AI-generated songs about Fester's old dumpy Cadillac that he drives. So I said to myself, good idea. So I brought this up on yesterday's show. Fester opens up the Suno website, which is an AI song generator, and I'm very weary of AI and, you know, the fact that, you know, AI has been shown now to, like, try to blackmail people, trying to shut it. Have you seen some of this stuff? AI, it's taught itself to blackmail people. Like, I think there was a story recently about some computer programmer or scientist that was, I guess, tried to shut down an AI experiment, and then the AI computer threatened to expose, like, the affair that he was having with some other woman other than his wife.
Wow.
I mean, AI, you've heard the stories that AI is going to murder us. AI is going to cause the downfall of human civilization, which I think there's something to that. So, but for the sake of entertainment value, right now AI is cranking out some pretty funny songs. All right. So I took this listener's idea about doing a song about Fester's dumpy old 2010 Cadillac, and we just started adding all kinds of, you know, adjectives,
little
and
details,
descriptors. You know, the paint is peeling off, the seat belts don't work. So we type in a whole bunch of things, you know, negative things about Fester's 2010 Cadillac DTS that he bought from some old grumpy guy off of Facebook Marketplace, right?
Yes.
All right. So we dump these little thought starters into the computer program. 30 seconds later, this song is spat out, and it is fantastic. Check it.
Fester rolling heavy, Cadillac swaying, 2010 bucket paint chips decaying, seatbelt snapped, ain't no safety in sight, headlights dim, barely cut through the night. Ball tires skating, life on the edge. MJ ducking, won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried. Nobody's safe in Fester's ride.
Great.
Peeling paint flakes scatter in the breeze. Doors creak louder than his old knees. Overweight driver leaning on the wheel. Every bump hit got the shocks repealed. Radio static, can't find no tune. AC dead, sweating under June's cruel moon. A haunted whip, every turn a new scare. MJ screaming, I ain't riding nowhere. Ball tires skating, life on the edge. MJ ducking, won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried. Nobody's safe in Fester's ride.
This is unbelievable.
Hood pops open, steam like a kettle. Fester just shrugs, this beast won't settle. MJ text Uber, ain't waiting to die. Fester in denial, ride until it's dry.
Yeah, 30 seconds, AI cranks this out. Music, lyrics, voice. Unbelievable. And that's the end, right? Oh, no, it comes back.
It comes back.
Oh, comes back.
Hood
One.
pops open, steam like a kettle. Fester just shrugs, this beast won't settle. MJ text Uber, ain't waiting to die. Fester in denial, ride until it's dry.
I text Uber, I don't want to die. And this is also premised on the fact that when I ride in Fester's car, every once in a while, Michelle, when she wasn't here, would need the car.
Skating life on the edge. MJ ducking won't cross that ledge. Electrical sparks, dashboards fried. Nobody's safe
In Fester's ride. Yeah, so before Michelle started coming in, we still only have one car. And believe it or not, it's the frugal MJ family. We only have one car. Because, when we got back from, Manhattan, we only had one car up there. And Michelle said, hey, let's save a lease payment. Let's save insurance. And we've been able to get by. So what the hell? I mean, we have a really nice one car. But
tell you what, man.
But every once in a while, before Michelle was on the show, I'd call Fester. Hey, I need a ride in the morning. And I have to ride in the back seat because the seatbelt up front is broken. The paint's chipping. The dashboard's flickering. The headlights are so dim. We can't see through the neighborhood when you pick me up at 5 in the morning. And then, so that's what that song is based on.
Dude, I got some stuff going on I haven't told you about.
Oh.
What?
There's a guy in Lakeland.
This is breaking news.
Yeah. Guy in Lakeland named Todd.
Yeah.
Todd McGuire.
Yeah.
And he's trying to sell me.
What?
His grandfather's 2009 Lincoln Town Car.
Oh, you could be back in the Lincoln Town Car business?
Look how sweet that is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all white.
Let me see.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, Fester, that is a car for you.
We are
so you're gonna
several
go
dollars
you're gonna
apart.
You're gonna go from a 2010 Cadillac DTS back to a 2009 Lincoln Town Car.
Listen, the 2009 Lincoln Town, the Lincoln Town Car, I believe, is the finest car ever produced.
You buy that, man. You're driving people to the airport for flights by
what?
5 o'clock today.
Well, here's the deal, man. It's not the L, which is the extended back seat, which I'm always on the eyeball for.
Yeah.
But we're a couple of bucks away on price.
What does he want for the 2009 Lincoln Town Car?
You sitting down?
How much?
This guy's crazy.
How much does he want?
$8,000.
That seems a little high.
That's what I told him.
Yeah, that's high.
That's what it's
Well,
good miles.
What does Kelly Blue Book have on that?
Listen,
Let me check my auction reports.
I'll tell you right now, the book has never bought anything. All right?
Yeah.
I said, listen, the book says this. I'll sell it to the book.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I told him, look, it's a $5,000 piece. I got 5 for you. He's like, can't do it. I was like, maybe 52. And then I said, what about 52? And I'll give a shout out to your mother. And he didn't go for that. But we're still in the throes of negotiation.
Yeah.
But there
Dude, you
might
better pull
be-
the trigger. You're going to lose this thing. It's going to slip through your fingers.
Listen, if I can't-
How many miles on this 2009 Lincoln Town Car?
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Low miles.
What's low miles?
50,000 miles.
Pretty low for a 2009.
So did it sit for a decade?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I mean. You got to ask more questions.
You better have your buddy down at Brothers Auto check it out.
Take Damien out there.
Yeah,
and
Damien's need to check this thing out.
have him go
Hey,
over the whole thing.
One last thing, automotive related. Yesterday, my Florida driver license was not suspended.
Hey, that's right. It was supposed to come up.
I was supposed to be suspended again. So I think finally, what was her name? Tanisha? Finally, I think the woman in...
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember. All right.
Something with a T. Mrs. T.
The woman in Tallahassee at DMV finally fixed my freaking problem.
Tanisha in Tallahassee?
I wrote down her name.
Okay, all right.
It's in my files at home.
All right.
Now, again, my license was set to be suspended again yesterday, Monday, July 7th, and I did a license check last night. And folks, anyone can do this. You go to Google, go to the Googles, and you type in Florida driver license check, and you just put in your driver license number, and then you got to put in the CAPTCHA code to make sure you're not a bot, and then it'll spit something out. So look at this. As of July 7, 2025, at 10:56 p.m., driver license number, then S is valid. My license was set to be suspended yesterday. for just erroneous crap. And if you don't know the story, I found out a couple of weeks ago that my driver license was suspended since last December. I was driving around from December 4th of 2024 until late June of this year with a suspended driver license, meaning the cop was supposed to confiscate my license, take the plate off my car, leaving me stranded on the side of the road, all through no fault of my own. I did nothing to get a suspended license. What happened was we had a flood damaged 2024 BMW X5, and that car was totaled, and somehow it wasn't dropped. The insurance company, whatever happened, the DMV computers was still looking for insurance on the 2024. It was gone. I was paid out. It was a total vehicle, but the DMV computer could not let it go, Fester.
No.
It couldn't let it go. And it still had me tied to the car, even though we have all new insurance with a new 2025 BMW X5, with coverages that well exceed the minimum, mandatories and PIP and, all that, everything. I've got great insurance and fully insured. And the DMV computer suspended my license because of that. I had no idea, never got a notification, nothing. Anyway, I was in this vicious cycle. So I typed in the new insurance information. My license became valid again, like June 20th. And then a week later, it's set for suspension again. So anyway, I think that the woman in Tallahassee finally fixed it. And then yesterday I was supposed to be suspended again, but the test was, I'm still valid.
Good. We're all happy for you.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Why did it take Chuck E. Cheese so long to figure out what Dave & Buster's has been doing for 20 years?
That's all it is.
Really? And I think they're opening up one in St. Pete?
Yeah, it's called Chuck's Arcade.
Yeah. All right. So Chuck E. Cheese, for the kids, for birthday parties, etc., Chuck E. Cheese, the company, they're saying, hey, we're now going to open up places for adults, and we're just going to call it Chuck's. It's like, hey, Chuck, Dave & Buster's figured this out 20 years ago.
I mean, they're opening up a handful of them.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're in malls. Well, here's the outside of a Chuck's Arcade.
Chuck's Arcade. Where is it? So let me see the story. Chuck's Arcade is already open in at least 10 major malls across 8 states, including New York, Texas, Florida. Locations already announced include St. Petersburg, Florida.
So they're in, remember mall arcades?
Mm-hmm.
That was like the original arcade in the mall. And that has gone away, it feels like.
Yeah.
So Chuck's Arcade is going to be in the mall.
Are they all mall, or are they going to try to do a Dave & Buster's? Where's the closest Dave & Buster's?
In Brandon.
So we do have one.
Next to Bass Pro Shop.
All right, but we were, you know what? I've never been there. We were Dave & Busterless in this market.
Far too long.
So when did the Dave & Buster's finally open up out in Brandon?
I remember
8 years ago? When was it?
Dave came out and broke ground after expediting, I don't know, 5 years ago. Maybe during COVID. I don't know.
We had no Dave & Buster's around here for the longest time.
You're right. But
I got to be honest, I didn't even know we actually had one. But, Andrew's saying there's a Dave & Buster's on Central Avenue in St. Pete somewhere.
Okay. So there's a couple of them.
I haven't been to Michelle. When we were at Dave & Buster's,
I've never been to a Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, you went to a Dave & Buster's with me. It was like in Denver or in Cincinnati or something.
Nope.
So
I must have been my other wife.
There's a couple of different concepts. There's one called Main Event, which is up in I think we have one in Wesley Chapel that has like bowling and video games and laser tag and pretty decent food for that kind of establishment.
Right.
As does Dave & Buster's, that has a full bar and a pretty robust menu.
But do they have old school pinball machines and Pac-Man and Space Invaders?
Yeah, they do. So
that's what I want.
They have a lot of the classic.
Yeah.
They have a lot of the classic games as well.
But they have a lot of the new games also, which I'm like, this is just like watching a video wall. I can't get into this.
Oh, yeah.
I got a place for you, Michelle, if you want the old school classic
Where's
games.
that?
There's a bar on. It's like an arcade bar, like the Lowry.
With like a sit-down Miss Pac-Man table?
Yeah, it's like the Lowry Barcade. I think it's on Waters Avenue.
No, I'm Space Invaders.
And they have those kind of old school pinball games. And
I love it.
Yeah.
This is a test. This is only a test. for Andrew, our producer.
Oh, okay.
Andrew, do you know what the Disney hug rule is? Yes or no?
No.
No? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. What are you talking about? Are you talking about hugging the characters?
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. You're getting warmer now. Do you know, because this would be ground-shattering, folks. This would be the only time I brought something up Disney-related that Andrew, our freako adult Disney fan...
Hey, I resemble that remark.
...did not know about.
So I heard the Disney hugging rule.
Do you know what it is?
I didn't know it was a rule, but I heard this 10 years ago.
What do you think?
And
What do you think the Disney hug rule is, Fester?
I want you to know, the second I heard it, I incorporated it with the kids and still do today. I think it's a great rule.
All right. I want Andrew and Fester. I want you to say it at the exact same time. It might sound jumbly, but it's why I'll be able to decipher.
It's going to sound jumbly.
You ready? All right. What is the Disney hug rule? Andrew, Fester, go.
The Disney
you
hug
hug until
rule,
the kid releases first.
You go. I couldn't do it. I was too confused.
Is that it?
I heard Andrew. It was like Andrew was thinking in my brain, but yes.
Yes.
When you hug the cast character, the cast member.
Michelle, what are you laughing
That was crazy.
Because it was like they're going to have different words to describe the same thing, so there's no way it would be even remotely close.
I mean,
yes.
Maybe for one-word answers that would work.
I mean,
but,
right.
All right.
Yes or no.
Both of
for
you
like a number, but this was something completely
give a whole
description.
A random sentence.
Fester, you read the preamble to the Constitution. Andrew, you do the Gettysburg Address.
Exactly.
And go.
I would much rather do
Four score and 7 years ago.
All right. So
we the people hold these truths.
All
to be
right.
self-evident.
So
Is that
the Disney hug rule.
So the hug rule is when a kid hugs a cast member,
Yep.
Yeah.
the cast member does not let go until the kid lets go.
Yes.
Oh.
That I didn't know this.
I didn't
The
either.
Disney hug rule states the Disney character will keep hugging the child until the child breaks the hug.
See, what sucks is now that this is like a little viral video clip that there's going to be content creators putting their 4-year-old up to like going in line to, hug Belle or the Little Mermaid or Mickey and just hug and hug and hug and hug and arm lock the guy and not
Just
let him out.
See how long they can
Yeah.
make it last. Get it awkward.
I mean, what if Donald Duck has a bathroom break coming up and
Yeah.
your 8-year-old is just has him in a headlock?
I hate to shift gears in this fashion, but
Yeah.
I like turtles.
Fester, you know where this is going, right?
I tell you what, this story.
Yeah.
My wife, I guess, read the headline and
Yep.
it shocked her
Yeah.
to where she had an audible gasp.
Yep.
I like turtles.
She's looking at her phone, I'm looking at mine, and then all of a sudden you hear,
Yeah.
I'm
Apparently,
like, what happened?
apparently you like turtles a little too much.
I like turtles.
Yep. Ouch. Yeah. I've done this. I should think twice. But listen, you can do it safely.
Under the right circumstances,
Yes.
I've done it too.
Yeah.
However, that road.
87-year-old guy struck by a truck while trying to save a turtle on a Florida road.
Not a Florida road.
Yeah.
I-95.
Okay, all right, I-95.
Okay,
Center lane.
Okay, I was
All
about to
right,
say.
all right, I'm sorry.
A Florida road is a zeal, okay? I mean, this is like the biggest highway in our state.
87-year-old man from Vermont was struck and hit by a truck while trying to save a turtle. Man, you go 87 years and you're taken out by a truck while trying to retrieve a turtle from the center lane of I-95 in Volusia County.
It's tragic. I mean, I can understand what was going through his head, but you pull over, you run back for the turtle, you go out into traffic on an interstate. Cars don't stop on interstates.
No.
Trucks don't stop.
Yeah.
87-year-old guy from Vermont. So I said Volusia.
It was Volusia County?
Was it Volusia? It's
95.
It was Sebastian. What county is Sebastian, Florida in?
I don't
Maybe
know.
it's not Volusia. Where's Sebastian?
Sebastian is...
What county? Located in Indian River County. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is that right? Is it Indian? Who the hell cares? Anyway, so 87-year-old guy. Michelle, do you remember when I saved the turtle? Were you with me, or was I by myself?
Was that when we were coming back from like Miami or West Palm? What is that road that we would come? I-75.
Well,
like after we come across Alligator Alley, and then
no, it wasn't there.
Oh,
I think you were with me. We were coming back from West Palm, and we were on State Road 60. We had just come off the Florida Turnpike. We hit Yeehaw Junction, and we're heading west on 60, past the old Yeehaw Junction, and the now totally, is it still collapsed, or they finally clear the land of the old hotel and saloon and all that?
A couple of years ago, I still saw the Desert Inn just all dilapidated.
Yeah, the Desert Inn.
But, I mean, that's a one-lane road
Yeah.
there, right?
Well, hold on a minute. It was right when you're heading west on State Road 60 from Yeehaw Junction, where it's like only 2 lanes, one each direction, and then it opens up. It was right after it opened it up to like 2 lanes on each side, so 4 lanes. It was right when it opened up, and there's a little turtle crossing the road, and I swerved around it, and I'm like, oh, geez. I mean, this is like 20 years ago, and I pulled off, and I just waited until, no cars were coming, and I picked up the turtle, and I put him off to the side of the road. I don't know if he made the same dumb mistake and decided to cross the road again, like a frog, or, speaking of old video games.
Well, the key is to bring the turtle in the direction they were heading. Because if you bring them back and they were trying to go the other way, they're just going to turn around when you leave. But, MJ, a 2-lane road or 1.5-lane road for a man who's in his 30s and is in, reasonably decent shape.
Yeah, but an 87-year-old walking to the center lane on I-95, probably a recipe for disaster.
The oldest man.
Oh, wait a second. Let me take probably out.
No, the oldest man on the worst road.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, man, you feel so bad.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to let it go. Can you imagine you live 87 years, and how did he go? Was it cancer? Was it a heart attack? No. It was because...
I like turtles.
That's why.
His unending like of turtles.
Just terrible. Oh, new studio update. What are you laughing at?
This show's jumping all over the place today. It's incredible.
Yeah.
What, do you want me to talk about turtles till the end of the show? Of course I'm going to change subjects. Of course I'm changing subjects.
I am entertained.
I'm moving on.
I am entertained by the variety. What were we're talking
the
about?
The show always has variety. That's what we do here. What are you, new?
Today, it's just a little better. I mean, we go from Disney hugs to dead old men and turtles.
That's what we do.
I know. I'm just impressed.
That's what we do every day.
Right. Some days are better than others, and today's a really good one, in my opinion.
All right. New studio update. I think we could be in the new studio, which is right down the hall, within like 2 weeks.
Oh, shut up.
I swear. Dude, it's all cleaned up now. There are a couple of boxes in the corner. Things are working. I'm told they wanted to try to get us into the new studio by the end of last week, but then I had to remind them that it was 4th of July week, and they said, okay, give us another week or 2.
Well, who says that? We want to get you in on this day. I can't do it this Friday. Then the logical answer is, let's do it Monday.
Yeah.
We should have started the show yesterday.
All right, who should I call? Which engineer should I call? Should I call Max or Chris? Which one? Folks, we're going to be in the new studio. It's imminent. Ladies and gentlemen, the new MJ Morning Show studio, nearly 5 years in the making. Years of lies.
Lies.
Don't we have the studio song?
Yes.
Hold on. Find the AI created studio song that we wrote some 2 weeks ago.
I gotta find it. I gotta go back.
All right, go back to the Suno website. But I am told. Hey, wait, who should I call? Should I call Max or Chris?
Are they going to give you a better answer or a more accurate answer than Big Scary Ron?
Who's going to be more entertaining? Should I call Max or Chris?
Dude, I gotta say,
Andrew, which one should I call? Which engineer should I call? Max or Chris? All right, let me call Max.
I'll say both of those guys are pretty bland. I don't know who's going to be more entertaining.
All right, no, Chris always answers for me. Let me call Max the engineer. Hang on a minute. Let's see here. Max is number 727. All right, calling Max the engineer. I'm telling you, dude, it is imminent. Finally, the MJ Morning Show brand new studio is within grasp.
Sorry, you must first dial a 1 or 0.
I don't need to dial a 1 when I call on my cell phone. All right, hold on. 1727. All right, calling Max. I want you to hear this. Fessy, you're chuckling and chortling and snickering like it's a joke. I'm telling you, we could be in the new studio in like a matter of 2 weeks.
Okay. Great. I'll believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not chuckling. I don't.
Please leave your message.
What the hell?
Max Andrews.
Why should I pick up the phone? Son of a... Anyway.
Call the other guy.
Call Chris?
I mean...
All right. Folks, this is going to be like a hallelujah day, like unless the thing doesn't work well. You know, there's going to be some bugs in the new studio, so I got to...
Some?
Okay.
Some?
Hey, let me try the other engineer, Chris. Hang on a minute. 941. All right, Michelle. It is getting close. You know what? Michelle and I are going to shoot a video in there. You know what? Maybe during the commercial break, coming up in like 15 minutes. Maybe Michelle will shoot a quick video in the new studio, and we'll post it on my Instagram. I think both engineers are listening and avoiding me like the freaking plague right now. Yeah, they are.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Yeah, well.
Goodbye.
Isn't that convenient? They've even shut off their voicemail to me.
These guys can't even set up their voicemail.
I mean, stop. Fester said that. All right. Seriously, I think we're only a couple of weeks away from the brand new MJ Morning Show studio. All right, can I shift gears again? Oh, you have the studio song?
I have it. Would you like to hear it again?
Yeah, what do we call this thing?
MJ's Breaking Point.
Oh, that's right. Because my breaking point was they've been promising me a new MJ Morning Show studio for 5 years.
What happened was we went to calls for ideas to type into the AI Suno Songmaker, and a caller said, "What about the studio?"
Right. So this was a studio AI-generated song about our 5-year wait for a new studio. All right, hit it. Go. Totally AI-generated.
MJ's been waiting 5 long years. Promises whispered in his ears. Beasley Media dragging their feet. MJ's patience hits defeat. Blueprints faded, dust on the plans. He's tired of the same old dance. Radio dreams locked in a box. Beasley's ticking his internal clock. No more waiting. MJ's had enough. 5 years wasted. Time's been tough. He's standing tall. He's breaking free. This ain't the way it's supposed to be.
That's great.
Walls still bare. No sound in the air. Promise is broken, it's beyond repair. MJ's voice was meant to be heard, but silence reigns, it's so absurd. He's shouting loud, he's taking a stand. No more playing by Beasley's hand. He's got a mic, he's got a dream. Time to tear apart the old regime.
Oh my God, that's great.
No more waiting. MJ's had enough.
Whoa! Hang on! Breaking news! Chris, the engineer's called back.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris, MJ, Fester, Michelle.
He's not afraid of you.
Have you not heard that song?
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
Oh, that was an AI-generated song about me waiting 5 years for the new studio.
That's fantastic.
It really is. All right, so Chris, I am told, seriously, we're within 2 weeks maybe of being in the new MJ Morning Show studio?
Well, if you get me to say that on the air, then I kind of have to do it.
All right, so what's the time frame? We're getting really close.
No, 2 weeks. Yeah, no, 2 weeks. We're good. We just need to get the phones figured out.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. Yes, yeah. Let's get the phones figured out. That's important.
Yeah, last thing I need is for you to move in there and then the phones not work.
I think we've got vacation coming up in the time frame that you're thinking about moving us in there. So you might have extra time, actually.
I mean, you probably have to like the first couple of days of August. Because we have 2 more show weeks after this week that we're taking a vacation.
Yeah, taking a little break at the end of July. So, all right, but we are close. The room is.
I like that little.
Say it again.
I like that little buffer.
Okay, so you get a little more time. All right. The point is, we're getting close to the new MJ Morning Show studio. All right, Chris. Thanks for calling back.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, Chris, the engineer. There is also additional breaking news. Guess what the TSA has announced? After 23 years, ladies and gentlemen, every passenger without TSA pre-check no longer has to take their shoes off at airport security. I guess it happened yesterday. Breaking news. Got a lot of breaking news today on the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, effective yesterday, TSA no longer requires passengers to remove their shoes at security checkpoints unless they are flagged for extra screening. An internal memo suggested that TSA would eliminate the requirement for passengers to remove their shoes at checkpoints. I first saw this news flagged by Johnny Jett. This is according to the View from the Wing, the aviation website.
That's cool.
It's actually happening at airports today, which was yesterday, though there's been no announcement from the agency about the change, and they did not respond to my request for comment. Anybody fly out yesterday, or did you come back to... So it has to be yesterday. Oh. Did anyone fly...
Allison flew in yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she
Hold on. She flew in from that cheesy little airport in southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Does she have pre-check?
No, we don't have pre-check.
Hold on a sec. Hang on a minute. That's right. Allison flew back from her cousin's hostage drama. What is the deal? She goes out there. She's held hostage for a week every year.
She has like the best time her whole years.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on a minute. Let me see. Hopefully she can tell us. 813.
All
right. Calling Allison, who flew out of Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah, it was some crummy town near Champaign.
Yeah, all right.
Bloomington.
Hello.
Hey, Allison, it's MJ Fester, Michelle live.
Hey there.
All right, so what airport did you fly out of yesterday in southern Illinois?
Bloomington.
There we go. And you flew what, Allegiant back to PIE?
I did. Uh-huh.
All right, in the airport, and you don't have TSA pre-check.
I do not.
So you have regular security. When you were at the airport in Bloomington, did you have to take your shoes off and put them in the bin at the airport yesterday?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. I totally forgot about that. I was planning to take them off, and we did not take them off. No.
Look at that. Allison on day one of the new rule. Allison, apparently yesterday the TSA ended the 23-year rule that everyone has to take their shoes off if you're in the regular line and not TSA pre-check.
That is awesome. I enjoyed it. It was a good rule.
Yeah. No more stinky feet. Imagine all the stinky feet, all the smelly shoes.
Yeah.
That TSA
Ron, come on in
agents
here. Come on in here, Ron.
Who are you yelling for?
Ron, our general manager. No, but Allison, this is breaking news. So you were on day one of the new TSA rule that regular travelers without TSA pre-check no longer have to take their shoes off. It went into effect, and it kind of quietly went into effect yesterday.
Yeah, they definitely didn't mention anything about it. They just pushed us through, so that's awesome.
Do you remember why we had to start taking our shoes off? Do you remember what it was specifically?
Did somebody hide like a gun or a bullet in their shoe?
No, it was the guy that tried to light his shoes on fire.
Was it Richard Reed?
It was Richard Reed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was on an American Airlines flight. I remember it was Flight 63. Richard Reed was on Flight 63, American Airlines. He was over the Atlantic flying from Paris, France to Miami, Florida, and he had PETN. It's an explosive. He had PETN in his shoes, and he was trying to light the fuse on his shoes and blow up the freaking plane over the Atlantic Ocean. And apparently the guy had sweaty foot syndrome.
Yeah.
And he soaked the fuse. He could not light the fuse to blow the freaking plane up. That's why an American Airlines Heavy, like an Airbus 330, or hey, find out. It's going to drive me nuts. What was Flight 63? Just look it up. What Michelle? What aircraft was American Airlines Flight 63?
What specific aircraft was it?
I want to know the aircraft. Yeah,
I have no idea.
Well, look it up. It'll take you 2 seconds. What was it? What kind of airplane was it? That's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, Allison, thank you for confirming that.
No problem.
I guess it went into effect yesterday.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
All right. Scary Ron, our general manager, he walked. You guys didn't see this, but Ron, our general manager and vice president, walks by and gives me a look and shakes his head at me as he's walking by our studio windows. Ron, can I ask? And I asked him in here. Can I ask what that was for?
Well, I was listening.
Listening to what?
Your show.
Okay.
Oh, and shaking your head.
Yeah.
And
what
I heard.
What part are you shaking your head?
Oh, Michelle said, well, would they have better information than Big Scary Ron? By the way, I do like Big Scary Ron.
All right.
I'm taking that.
I don't understand
But I have
that.
breaking news.
Okay.
What's the breaking news?
YU's moving into the new studio next week, and you will be in the production studio.
No.
Hold on.
No, they're not.
Oh.
No.
Okay, I was about to say, how's that going to work?
No,
Because I'm too fat to be in that studio.
No. He's joking around.
Oh, okay.
The new studio is ours, and we're hearing it's within a couple of weeks now.
Yes.
We're hearing it's within grasp. Thank you.
Maybe if you guys behave yourself.
If we behave ourselves.
Let's leave
all
the
right.
engineers alone. Let them finish up their work.
Thank you, Big Scary Ron, for coming by. All right.
I'm going to patent that. I like that.
There you go.
Big Scary Ron. That's what Michelle calls you, Big Scary Ron.
He's not big or scary.
All right. Did you
Well,
find
that's what I said the first time I met him. I was like, he's not so big and scary.
It was
it's a 767.
Yeah, it was a 767 300 ER.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the tail number was N384AA. So November 384 Alpha Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
that is. You know what? Hey, anybody out there who's doing trivia tonight? It's going to come up. It's going to come up at their trivia night at whatever bar they're going to.
Wait a sec. This dude had explosives built in his shoes and was trying to blow up an American Airlines wide-body jet with nearly 200 people on board over the Atlantic.
And that's why we had to take our shoes off all these years.
Exactly.
23 years.
Yeah.
We've had to take our shoes off because of this jackass.
That was like just 3 months after 9/11. It was like it was around Christmas time of 2001. And then remember then there was another dude that tried to blow up his panties.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, there was the underwear bomber. There was another guy. What the hell was his name? It was like Umar Farouk Abdul Muhammad or something. Look up the underwear bomber. This was another one. Dude, I was pretty close. Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Is that French?
And then bring up his name. Click on that. And this dude, he had like an underwear bomb.
Yeah.
And he tried to blow up, what was it?
Northwest Airlines.
Yeah, before the Delta.
Amsterdam to Detroit.
Yeah, Amsterdam to Detroit. He tried to detonate plastic explosives hidden in his underwear on board Northwest Flight 253.
That was a little later.
On December 25th, 2009. Oh, that was an Airbus A330. That's why I conflated. Yeah.
We were all laughing at you.
Yeah. got one over on him.
They're all going to laugh at me.
He conflated.
They're all going to laugh at me. They're all going to laugh at me. All right. Oh, speaking of airplanes.
Yeah.
Local and current, a Delta flight had to make an emergency landing in Southwest Florida.
Huh.
Some passenger's battery bank exploded and caught on fire on the plane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This happened yesterday. Fort Lauderdale-bound Delta flight from Atlanta. So Atlanta to Southwest Florida International Airport down in Fort Myers, a passenger's personal battery bank caught on fire mid-flight. According to Delta, it was a Boeing 757-200, 185 passengers on board, and 6 crew members had to make an emergency landing, right about this time. It was this time yesterday, 8:48 a.m.
So is the inconvenience, the expense of the inconvenience, is it charged to that passenger in the same way when you misbehave?
No,
or
no,
Really?
I don't think so. I think this is purely an accident. But what you're referring to is there have been cases where emergency landings have had to be made, and then like the passenger who forced the emergency, they'll get a bill from the airline for like $80,000.
Right.
Something crazy. They'll get a judgment against the passenger. It was flight 1334 Delta 757 service, Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale. The passenger's battery bank burst into flames. It was quickly extinguished, but they landed out of precaution, out of an abundance of caution.
Does it give a brand?
No, it doesn't. Although a bunch of Anchor battery banks have recently been recalled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because that's our brand of choice.
Yeah. No injuries reported. They evacuated the aircraft. There was residual smoke and smell. That's why they landed in Fort Lauderdale, Southwest Florida, instead of going all the way to Fort Lauderdale. The airplanes these days, they have like special like fire blankets and like they have like a fireproof bag that they can throw batteries into or put over.
Immediately extinguish it and resolve the situation.
Anyway, so that happened yesterday. 8:53 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, you know what today is?
Tuesday?
Yeah, something's happening today. I didn't bring it up. This guy needs any more money. Can you figure it out from that?
Oh, I know.
Hang on.
I know what it is.
Don't say it.
It's not this guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a service provided.
Yeah.
And you want to hear about a road rage situation? Listen to what someone did in a road rage situation. You got to hear this next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. The humongous, massive 15% off sale has been extended. So you might have heard me say, hurry, 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 hurry. The Zero Res 15% off everything sale expired at the end of June. Guess what? They've extended it. It's now been extended through the whole month of July. So if you wasted time, if you procrastinated, a lot of times, you're SOL. But in this case, you're in luck because Zero Res has extended the promotion. 15% off everything. You want your carpets cleaned, every room in the house, a couple of rooms, 15% off. You want your air ducts professionally cleaned. You want all the gook and mung and dust and crap gotten out of your air ducts. Professional cleaning, 15% off. Upholstery cleaning, throw rugs and area rugs and grout and tile, everything 15% off with Zero Res. Go to ZeroResTampaBay.com. Tell them MJ sent you for 15% off everything. You can book online or get the phone number on the website. 15% off Zero Res right now. Tell them MJ sent you. ZeroResTampaBay.com. The move you need to make is calling the right mover. So that's the first thing to ensure a good move. That move, make sure you don't call the wrong mover. Call the right moving company, and that's twocollegebrothers.com. Bottom line, twocollegebrothers.com will make your move smooth. They have highly trained individuals. They are background checked to the hilt. You're not going to find, felons just sprung from prison that are working for the move. No, some moving companies do that, actually, to get to labor. Not going to happen at Two College Brothers. You're going to have a great move. They're going to wrap everything in blankets when it comes to your furniture. They're going to handle your boxes like it's their grandmother's own fine china inside. Get a great price, get a great move. It's twocollegebrothers.com. You mentioned me, MJ, you'll get free moving boxes dropped off at your front door. Twocollegebrothers.com, the smartest move you'll ever make. The Holland Group wants to offer you something complimentary, no obligation, no cost to you, no commitment. What is it? The Holland Group wants to take a look at your investment strategy and your retirement plan. Whoops, don't have one? Let them build one for you. Or maybe you have a plan, but maybe it's the wrong plan. Get a second opinion on your retirement planning. Are you currently with an advisor or broker? How do you know the plan is correct? How do you know you're not going to run out of money in retirement? How do you know you're not going to fall short on investment income? The Hollands will build you an investment plan to bring you investment income every month when you retire. They'll build you the full retirement plan, including tax planning. Do you have a tax plan? You got to have one. A lot of folks get clobbered with taxes in retirement, and it is a shocker. It is a total surprise. Go to askthehollins.com, and they'll build you these plans complimentary, answer all your questions, give you a second opinion. AskTheHollins.com, Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors, and tell them MJ sent you. Shriner's got traffic. MJ Morning Show back in a minute.
Traffic is moving much better.
I just got a text message. Hold on, I got to take care of business real quick. Hold on, I just got a text message from Luigi, from Michelle. Luigi just texted me from Trattoria Pasquale.
Is there a crisis?
Yeah, what's going on with Luigi?
His garage door broke. He needs Banco.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, call Banco 813-882-9000. Banco, tell them you are personal friends with MJ. All right?
All right, yeah.
That's what all the listeners say.
Yeah, now they're all going to say, oh, I'm personal friends. This is Vic and Valrico. I'm a personal friend of MJ's.
Yeah. Luigi, who's the owner and executive chef of Trattoria Pasquale in South Tampa, Morning, MJ. I know you're live on the air. I broke my garage door this morning. What number should I call? And, of course, it's Banco. Bank on the best. BancoDoors.com. That's my company. All right. So today, I almost don't want to mention it.
What? Listen, hold on. This is the big thing. And if you notice, all the other major players in this space are glomming onto this.
Glommers?
Yes, because I saw a commercial yesterday that like Target days start next week. You know, and they never did this before.
Walmart's doing it as well.
Yeah, I mean, all of the.
So look,
I think they're calling it off the Walmart or something. Off the wall. I don't know. I just made that up.
But it's
not a bad idea.
That's not a bad name.
Off the Walmart prices. Off the wall.
Do you know how much Walmart pays for imaging? They could use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today's Amazon Prime.
So
hold on. It's not just Amazon Prime Day. Now they've expanded it to 4 days. Yeah. Before you know it, next year it's going to be Amazon Prime Week.
It should
Then
be.
it's going to be Amazon Prime Month. Then it's going to be Amazon Prime Quarter. Amazon Prime Summer.
What's your beef,
Yeah,
dude?
what's your problem? We're getting good deals.
That bald guy's got too much money. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't understand where the. I know you're kidding.
He
but
caused Venice to sink another eighth of an inch with that damn wedding. That's the problem.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case.
They just measured. It was just breaking news.
No, he's got some pylons that he put in.
It's not his fault. If anything, he's probably the only one that could save that city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking on the deals. If there's something you've been waiting to buy,
there's a Graco car seat on sale for babies and infants. Yeah, let's buy that. It's on sale, 25% off.
No, I sent you something.
What?
I sent you something.
What?
I sent you and Julian. It was a big battery bank thing.
Oh, did you? You sent that?
Yeah, because it said Amazon Prime Days, and it was like something ridiculous, 40-something% off. So instead of being like $800 and something, it's like $400 and something.
I saw
but it can like power a lot. It's good for, I thought, hurricanes.
It can power a city.
No, it can power like a refrigerator and air conditioner, which we would not necessarily do. But I was thinking about for the hurricanes, would we want something like that? And it was on sale, like 40-something% off. Now's a good time to buy it.
Oh, it's a good time for me to spend $499.
Yeah,
you got to buy like a window shaker.
You know what's
air conditioner unit.
You know, it's a good time for me not to spend $500. That's what it's a good.
Okay.
So
then don't spend it. But if you want to, it's available.
Amazon Prime Day starts today, but it's the 8th, which is today, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. So now they've moved Amazon Prime Day to 4 freaking days. And
I'm not angry about it. I got a bunch of stuff in my cart. I'll just go through and see if there's something, there.
Oh, stop. Look, there's a triple bunk bed right there. Look at that.
I could use one of those.
Oh, it's a shoe rack.
It's
I'm sorry.
shoe rack.
Sorry.
All right, it's a shoe rack. It looks like a triple bunk bed if you have triplets.
For $10, it's the nicest triple bunk bed looking
But it looks
shoe
like,
rack.
doesn't it look like a bunk bed for 3?
Yeah, it looks like those like prison bunk beds. It's a shoe rack.
Oh, man.
This is the back to school area.
All right, stop.
All right.
Just let me take control of the computer. Fester is on the Amazon Prime Day page with all kinds of deals. And I'm telling you right now, there is absolutely nothing that I need here. So far, what I've seen as Fester scrolled, there is nothing that I need. And how many people are just going to buy crap today or tomorrow or Thursday or Friday? How many people are going to buy? Fester, I said, stop touching the computer.
I went to the homepage.
Leave it alone.
I wasn't on the homepage.
All right.
Now I'm on the homepage.
So I want to scroll this, and I want to see all the items that are on sale on Prime Day that I don't need.
Well, look at the top thing. First, it says Amazon Prime Day deals. Then it says Amazon Haul. And then if you look in, it says best sellers, like 5 filters in.
Look, the Dyson V11 Origin cordless vacuum is 30% off. It's $400, $399.99. I don't need that.
We can use a vacuum.
I don't need this. Amazon Kindle, $124. I don't need it.
Okay.
What the hell? A Bissell little green multi-purpose sweeper? I don't need it.
Yeah, scroll down more. Scroll over.
What is this? Samsung Galaxy Watch, $159.99. I don't need it.
Okay, is this going to be just crotchety old man and everything? I don't need it. Is this what this whole segment's
Graco
going to be?
Extend to Fit convertible baby car seat. I don't need it.
It's just like walking around a Walmart in every aisle. I don't need it. I need this.
Bose headphones.
I don't need it.
They're on sale.
All right.
I don't need it.
All right.
$349 down to $199.99. I could use those.
Noise canceling headphones?
Yeah, I like them.
don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need this.
Oh, look at
segment.
this. Premier Protein Shake.
How much?
25% off. I don't need it.
How much is it?
I don't know. You got to click on the damn thing.
Because it's
It's 25% off. The pack of 12 is $23.99. It's probably made in China with heavy metals. I don't know. All right, so yeah, I'm looking at there's nothing that I need.
Okay, so don't go shopping.
Yeah, I mean,
I
don't
did
go.
send you the one thing. I thought about the portable power station. We could probably use that if we have a hurricane.
I don't need it. I'm going to spend $499. We have a generator. We got a 6,500 watt gas powered generator.
Okay, that has to sit outside and it's loud and it runs. And I'm not appreciating it, but everything has a purpose.
The instructions on our generator says you can run it in your living room.
Okay.
MJ, what if
I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's not true. It'll kill us all with carbon monoxide poisoning.
What if?
Yeah, I'm joking.
What if I can get you 35% off Crest whitening strips?
I don't need Crest white. Look how white my teeth are.
Oh, you do need no. You could use Crest
Look at my
whitening
teeth on MJTV. My teeth are white. Anyway,
Lego Star Wars Imperial Star Destroyer building. 30% off.
Stop. Festive. Hold on. Stop. Hold on. There's actually something on here. Julian just bought these at Costco.
What?
Those flavored
liquid
vitamins.
IVs?
Yeah.
Liquid IVs.
Yeah. Julian just bought these.
And
how much
they were
were
they were $27.99.
Well. He should have waited.
$16.54. How many are in there?
A 16-pack?
Yeah. Is it 6? I don't know. I got to ask Julian. All right. So those those might be a good deal because why did Julian have to buy liquid IV hydrogen or liquid IV hydration multiplier? Why did Julian have to buy those at Costco?
Okay, no. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
He drinks a lot of water.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he just wants a little flavor in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Squeeze a lemon.
Okay, not everybody loves lemon.
Yeah.
Squeeze a lime then.
Not everybody loves that.
Pomegranate.
Okay.
I mean, look at this one. It looks like a pop, some kind of a frozen pop. The flavor is going to be really
They're
good.
making it look like one of those red, white, and blue rocket pops.
I'm literally getting a headache shopping online with you.
All right, well,
Exactly.
shut it off. Anyway.
I don't need it.
There's a Stanley Ice Flow steel
All right,
tumbler with straw.
We're done. We're done with Amazon Prime Day. All over. Okay. Moving along.
Yes.
You want to hear about a crazy road rage incident?
Oh, yeah.
Listen to this. This is like road rage to a new level. Road rage incident on the 215 freeway out in San Bernardino, out in California. One of the people involved in the road rage, they ended up stopped. One of the individuals grabbed the other's car keys and drove off, left them stranded on the road without their car keys.
Oh, wait.
How about that for a new twist?
Yeah.
An apparent road rage incident resulted in heavy delays on the 215 freeway in San Bernardino when one of the people involved left the scene with the other driver's keys.
That sucks.
The incident was reported shortly after 7 a.m. when the drivers of a van and car got out of their vehicles, leaving at least one lane blocked on the northbound side of the freeway. Both drivers began fighting on the freeway, allegedly because the van had been cut off by the other driver, who then brake checked him. So they end up stopping, locking him up on the freeway. You know, there are crazy. If you look at some of the videos that pop up on my Instagram Reels, there are like crazy dash cam videos and there are fights.
Yeah.
There are altercations. People do get out of their cars. They'll stop their car dead. I mean, they'll just lock it up. Get out of their car and they'll confront the other driver. I mean, sometimes on the freaking interstate. So that apparently happened here, and one of the drivers grabs the other guy's keys and then takes off, leaving the car freaking stranded in the middle of the interstate. The driver of the van called the California Highway Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need my Chips music, Andrew. Yeah, if I'm talking about the California Highway Patrol, you know, when you're on hold with the CHP, if they don't have a dispatcher right away, it plays the Chips music. Did you know that?
Really?
No.
It should. It really should. That's hysterical. You know.
Yeah.
California Highway Patrol, please hold. Dun, 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 dun.
We will be with you shortly. Thank you for calling the California Highway Patrol. All operators are busy. Your call will be answered by the next available operator. Yeah.
For Punch, press 1. For Baker, press 2.
For Sergeant Getrayer, push 3.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man. The driver called the California Highway Patrol and told them he had been kicked and his keys were stolen by the other motorist. Man, that's got to suck.
Yeah.
The other guy takes your keys, gets in his car, and drives off. He won. The other guy won the road rage deal.
Until he goes to jail for
even if
theft.
you threw him out the window 100 yards later, you still messed that guy's day up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Because the van could not be moved off the freeway, traffic was delayed while a tow truck responded. The driver told investigators that he'd been spit on and then kicked when he tripped trying to confront the other driver. No description of the other driver or his vehicle has been made available. Authorities were also searching for a truck that drove away after apparently striking the van as it sat on the... This is a big cluster frig.
No kidding. That they can't find the guy. I mean, usually there's some dash cam or somebody's rolling, phone recording on the scene.
I guess it's because people know I like pizza.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people, including Fester and Andrew, sent me the story of the exploding Domino's pizza in Utah?
Okay, I didn't even think about that because you are a poo-pooer of Domino's.
I'm not listen, I'm equal opportunity. Folks, I'm a pizza-holic, all right? And I'm sorry, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
I just saw
Did
it
I
was
say Domino? I'm sorry. Those, they don't do it for me when it comes to pizza,
That's fine.
okay?
I didn't even think about the pizza aspect of it. I saw it was like a whole shopping center, and I thought it was, and then I saw the explosion, and I'm like, this is amazing. What else is in this plaza? Like Great Clips or something?
No, Jimmy John's. It was Jimmy John's and Domino's, and the roof of the Domino's blows up.
What, the propane get loose or something?
Listen, it must have been a gas explosion. Those people in their car, and they're videoing the fire as they go by, and as they're videoing, the whole roof of the Domino's just blows up in the air. You know what that is? That's the new exploding crust pizza from Domino's. It's stuffed so much it exploded. Did you hear how the explosions even distorted on the phone recording the video of the roof exploding? Yeah, this was a strip mall in Harriman, Utah. And there was a Domino's and a Jimmy John's. Ooh, toasty.
Yeah, now everything's toasty in that place.
Jeez. Man, it's insane. If you want to look it up, just do exploding Domino's Utah and take a look at the... I mean, you see the roof just get propelled up into the air in pieces. That's insane. We spoke of this yesterday, and I'm telling you right now, this is very coincidental. Do you remember yesterday we had a list of like 3 big names on OnlyFans that are the 3 women most responsible for like marriages or relationships splitting up because the guys on OnlyFans, and there are 3 women on the OnlyFans website that are responsible, I guess, for the most strife in marriages or relationships.
I only remember one of them, but
tell me what was one of the names.
Denise Richards.
That is correct. So the news broke yesterday. Denise Richards is getting divorced. Her husband, Aaron Fipers, I have no idea who the hell he is, has filed for divorce after 6 years of marriage. So I just found it coincidental that yesterday we're talking about marriages splitting up.
Yeah.
And Denise Richards is one of the names, one of the 3 performers on OnlyFans that causing strife because women are discovering that their guys are, utilizing the services or they subscribe to these OnlyFans performers, these content providers. And one of them is Charlie Sheen's ex, Denise Richards. And then we find out yesterday, the news broke that this guy, Aaron Fipers, Phypers, has filed for divorce from Denise Richards after 6 years. Irreconcilable differences. That's the reason. Oh, the date of separation was July 4th. That was truly his Independence Day.
Truly was.
Yeah.
Oh, that deserves you know what that deserves?
What?
They're getting divorced. July 4th. I guess you can call it Independence Day. That's like a stinger from CSI.
I thought you were going to play
Yeah.
that cheesy hillbilly Martina McBride song.
I don't know. What is that?
She has a whole song called Independence Day. It's Independence Day.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeehaw! And like talks about like chewing tobacco or something.
Yeah, the pair married in 2018, married for 6 years. And of course, Denise Richards is the daughter of Sammy. And Sammy's also like
Mother.
making a, I'm
She's
sorry,
the mother of
she's the
Sammy.
mother of Sammy, and Sammy's making a fortune. The daughter is making a fortune on OnlyFans at 21. She's raking in millions. Unbelievable.
Hey, good for them.
Hey, I'd like to give you a wildlife tip. You know, this is a very wildlife tip infused day. First, we had the guy that tried to save the turtle at 87 years old in the middle of I-95 over in, Indian River County?
Gotta let the turtle go on that one.
Yeah, so 87-year-old guy mowed over by a truck trying to get a turtle out of the middle lane of I-95.
Yeah, life's not fair.
Just let that one go, man. Just keep going in your Lincoln Town car. Just keep going. Or your Lincoln Mercury Grand Marquis. Oh, thank God you've answered. Here's the second wildlife tip of the day. If you hit a black bear, do not get out of your car and try to assist and render aid to the black bear.
Man.
Not a good idea.
What, was it not dead?
It was not. And then the guy, a 59-year-old dude, goes up to the black bear. Are you okay? Let me put some gauze on you. And then the black bear springs to life and mauls his face off.
Oh.
No.
Well, it's all right. It's not that bad.
My shoulder hurts. Oh. Thank you.
Only you. Yeah, this is out in California as well. 59-year-old resident hospitalized. He hit a black bear on something called Berry Summit on Route 299, somewhere out in Northern California, I think. And he gets out of the car. It's a 400-pound male black bear that he hit.
Dude.
Gets out of the car and saw that it was injured, and, well, it didn't go very well. So the bear was trying to get over the guardrail, trying to get away, and the bear then just chomps down on the guy's hand. It's like, dude, leave it alone. Oh, and then there was another bear story that a bear got trapped inside a car in Colorado. Have you ever seen what a wild animal can do to the interior of a car? It's like a car bomb would do less damage.
I want to see the car. I want to see the car after the bear got through with it.
Oh, you know the TV series The Bear?
Right.
By the way, Michelle, I think the new season dropped.
It did.
Are we caught up?
Yes.
So we saw 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
3 was when he went high style, right? Didn't
Right.
he?
Yep.
So the
Yep.
end, that's when he went to like a Michelin-starred type restaurant, right?
Yep. It's all ready to go.
All right, so we can start watching season 4 of The Bear. So here's my idea. Instead of The Bear being like a series based on the restaurant guy, I think we come up with The Bear. And you have people just drive their cars into a parking lot, and you just put a bear inside and see what happens. That's The Bear.
Florida has plenty of bears, right?
They will F up your car. I mean, seriously. I've seen stories where like a wild animal, but particularly a bear, gets inside a car. It is like if your car was deliberately torched in an insurance scam with gasoline, there's less damage to the car than what a bear could do.
Do you remember maybe a year or so ago, we had a story about people who put on a bear costume and faked a bear attack in their car, and they just left like claw scratch marks on like the pleather.
Like for an insurance racket.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had like security footage they tried to sell sell to the insurance company as being legitimate.
Didn't the insurance company then find they bought the bear costume and everything?
They called the police.
Yeah.
I mean, the bear opens the car door with the paw. I mean, like with his thumb.
Well, they can do that kind of thing. They can go in and out of, doorknobs and handles. They can do that.
I guess, but man, the bear did like very little damage. It was like just like a plastic scratch mark.
Oh my
And like, whoa, bear attacked my car. And then they cut stuff up. And then they got like arrested for like insurance fraud. But MJ, I'm watching the video of this car in Colorado that got mauled by the bear, and This bear tore it to
Oh my
smithereens.
gosh! Yeah.
It will shred every door panel. The seats will look like they've been put into an industrial shredder. They will screw up your car badly. That's why I think we need a new series, The Bear. We just put a bear. Like someone has a brand new BMW 5 Series.
Yep.
No.
Drive it here to the station, and we'll put a bear inside, see what happens.
Where do we
It's
keep
The Bear, coming soon to FX.
Where do we keep the bear?
In the old studio.
In this studio. We'll keep him in here. That'd be great. That's a great idea.
We're in the new studio. We'll keep the bear in the old studio.
Let's put a bear in this studio to do the demo.
The demolition work, yeah. Absolutely, I love it. Oh, guess what movie is getting horrific reviews? There is, first of all, that Jurassic Park got bad reviews, but man, it's a whopper at the box office. You know, the audience loves the new Jurassic Park by and large, but the critics despised it. Another highly touted movie coming out. Critics are shredding it. In fact, there was a review that was supposed to be embargoed that got released early, apparently. What movie, what highly awaited summer movie is not getting really good reviews? We'll get to that next. You want to hear about the dopiest getaway? Hey, dude, not a good plan. A crook tried to rip off Lowe's and then tries to make his escape in the stupidest fashion ever. Tell you that and we have a lot of stuff. And look at the time; it's 9:23. 9:24 now. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next here on Q105 on 104.7 FM. So you don't want to miss the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show next. So stand by. Folks, if you're looking for Toyota and you're out in Polk County, or listen, maybe you're in Hillsborough or something. Maybe you're in another surrounding county. You want a great Toyota dealership that you can deal with. It's Miracle Toyota out in Haines City. You know, Highway 27, US 27, right in Haines City. Miracle Toyota. These guys are great. Every new Toyota comes with the Miracle warranty. 10 years or 250,000 miles of added powertrain protection above and beyond the manufacturer's warranty. Absolutely free. That's just the beginning. With the Miracle Advantage, you can get 4 years of Toyota recommended maintenance, complimentary pit stop services, a 72-hour exchange policy, roadside assistant when you need it most. It's unbeatable. It's Miracle Toyota. If you're looking for a Toyota car, truck, SUV, it's Miracle Toyota out in Polk County. We've got a lot of big Polk County fans. Yeah, go show Miracle Toyota some love. When you go to Miracle Toyota in Haines City, tell them that MJ from the MJ Morning Show sent you in. Miracle Toyota for your next Toyota purchase. Gonna love it. Speaking of automobiles, hopefully you don't get a brand new car and then some turd runs into you. But if it happens, you're gonna need a lawyer. Don't try to go this alone. Make sure that all the evidence is preserved. Make sure that you don't get run over by the other side. I mean, you've already been run over once. Make sure you don't get run over again. Call the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. So what will the Kemp Law Group do for you? If you're in a car wreck, somebody rear ends you, somebody runs a red light and T-bones you, you've got property damage, your car is screwed, your neck is twisted, you're injured, whatever. Call Stacy Kemp and the team at the Kemp Law Group. They know how to operate. They know how to jump in quickly to make sure that evidence doesn't spoil. If they need to get security camera footage, they'll make sure they get that. If there are businesses or homes nearby that maybe captured the moron bashing into you, if you've been hurt, you deserve to recover. You don't pay a dime until they recover for you. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law, kemplaw.com, and tell MJ sent you. Traffic's on 927 MJ Morning Show. Back in a minute.
Infidelity.
9:31 at the MJ Morning Show. Michelle is like yelling at me during the entire break. What are you talking about with this movie review? And Michelle knows what movie it is. But Fester, you're kind of coming to my defense. You're seeing similar things. All right, here's the deal. The first review for the new Superman movie. I'm sure many of you knew what I was talking about. I just kind of teased it. What huge, highly anticipated movie's coming out. And the first review, brutal. And it was also an embargo breaker, that there was supposed to be an embargo on the reviews. I'm not one to follow embargoes when someone tells you, oh, you can't talk about this until this date.
Forget
Hell
that.
with that. I'm going to talk about it as soon as I find out about it. So the story is that the first review to make it out says that the new Superman is terrible. The headline, "Terrible New Superman is Final Nail in Superman Cinema's Coffin." So this... the original, I guess, first review was the Daily Beast.
Yeah.
So the Daily Beast...
And then they took it down.
They took, because the embargo was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Superman movie review embargo is supposed to be lifted on July 8th, which is today.
Mm-hmm.
But the Daily Beast, they published this thing early, 5 days before the embargo was supposed to be lifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The review's headline read, "The terrible new Superman movie is the final nail in the grave for the Superman or superhero genre."
So there's a political element to all of this, and I think you like it or don't like it.
Well, that's
a little bit on politics.
No, that's separate. So the director of the movie has also kind of put his foot in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you want to do is divide an audience. We don't do politics on this show. We'll touch on certain things if it's newsworthy, but as far as like getting on a soapbox and preaching politics on this show, we don't do it. I don't need it. Listen, because any way you slice it, you're going to piss off 50% of the audience. So, I made the decision. This show is going to be politics free. We're just going to do an entertaining show. There are enough wackos out there. They're going to try to interpret something that's unintended and try to turn it into a mountain. But, we deliberately stay away from divisive. Yes, I say divisive, not divisive. Some people can't even agree on how to pronounce the damn word. So I say divisive.
I mean, you say divisive all woke style.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
It's divisive.
But no, the Superman first review is nasty. It's ugly, and they say the movie's a disaster.
You know what I think? I think that was just what do you call it, Fester? Just to post something to get traffic on your website, because every other review, I mean, the Hollywood Reporter cited like 3 or 4 different reviewers that gave it great score, thumbs up. GQ gave it a great report.
Listen, the movie's still going to do fairly well. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Superman movie review embargo was supposed to be lifted on July 8th. That's today. But as you're likely aware, things didn't go as planned. The Daily Beast accidentally published its review of James Gunn's Superman 5 days before the embargo was supposed to be lifted. The review, "The terrible new Superman movie is the final nail in the grave for the superhero genre." The article was removed within 5 minutes, but many people already saw it online. Warner Brothers' PR team is now facing a big problem. They made a mistake of breaking the embargo, and breaking it with that headline caused even more trouble. Then in his review of Heads of State, Variety's Peter DeBruge took a subtle shot at James Gunn's Superman while praising. Anyway, there are plenty of reviews that are not good. However, you're saying that you're seeing some reviews that are good.
Yes, I'm seeing plenty of reviews that are saying it's the right amount of action. They love the characters. They love the casting.
I mean, there's a degree of humor in this Superman movie.
Yeah.
All right. The story is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another recent movie that you can compare this to. The reviews for the new Jurassic Park were horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It's been a major box office success. The critic score is rather low. The audience score is, listen, go to Rotten Tomatoes. Go to Rotten Tomatoes on the latest Jurassic Park. And it is completely lopsided where the critics are and where the audience is. on Rotten.
I'm going to read you right now.
Go ahead.
The film shines with a sense of play that paired with kick-ass filmmaking. Superhero cinema hasn't seen this boldly served since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
I mean, it's a superhero
I
movie.
mean, you know.
Yeah.
The Superman reviews are all mostly great. DC Nation, we're here.
All right, so here are the reviews. Like for Jurassic Park, for instance, the critics' score is 52. The audience score is 72. So for the critics, you got the green splotch of Rotten Tomato, and you've got the nice popcorn bucket for the audience score at 72.
Yeah,
and things making a fortune at the box office.
Yeah.
So last we checked, as of yesterday, it was like a $325 million worldwide gross so far.
But there was a movie a couple of months ago where we were saying the same thing. These critics come out and they have to have something to say, and they think their opinion is so important, and it isn't.
This could be the worst getaway ever, and there's even like dash cam video. This dude here in Florida, over in Flagler County, this dude shoplifts at Lowe's. Guess what his getaway vehicle was?
Man.
This guy jumps on the back of a UPS truck.
It does have that landing on it, right?
It does.
Yeah,
it has
big
that little
bumper step.
It has like a bumper step deck.
Yes.
So, a Florida man arrested after deputies said he tried to steal nearly $1,500 in merchandise from a Lowe's and then hopped on the back of a UPS truck to get away. The sheriff's office said the suspect, identified as 31-year-old Michael DeVersa,
That's not a safe place to be, right?
tried to steal merchandise from a Palm Coast Lowe's, abandoned the items, and then ran when deputies arrived. They got a call from someone who said they saw the man riding on the back of a UPS truck.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you realize how many stops the UPS truck makes?
I'd like to see him try that with our UPS driver, Bobby. I mean...
I have, Fester, I got to take a picture of this. I'm going to hold this up to MJTV.
I mean, yeah, does YouTube, does UPS have a backup camera?
Did you just confuse YouTube with UPS?
Yeah, I mean, I got to use Max.
All right. Let me hold this thing up. Look at this thing. I'm holding this up to MJTV. This is a guy sitting on the back of a UPS truck, a regular like neighborhood delivery van.
How far does this guy think he's going to
I
get?
don't know.
He doesn't even look like he's hanging on. I mean, if he hits a bump, he's going to roll off and get hit by the car behind.
Seriously,
You know
this
what?
looks so
Right?
dangerous.
You Big Brown ought to deliver this this thief right to the county lockup. I mean, that's probably not a good idea. UPS truck. He's stopping like stop at this house. He'll stop at the next house. Not a good getaway vehicle.
Do you think the police could have called the driver and said, just drive to the police station?
Anyway, he was arrested.
We got it from here.
Yeah.
Detectives with the sheriff's office said they tracked the suspect's movements, established that the man was on the back of the truck.
Yeah.
He was arrested on charges of shoplifting and taken to the county lockup. Thanks to a citizen seeing something and saying something, we were able to get this thief off the streets, said the sheriff. Tried to get away on the back of a UPS truck. Instead, earned himself free same-day delivery to the Green Roof Inn.
Nice.
Lovely. I don't think UPS has same-day delivery.
In this case, they do.
In this case, they did. All right, 9:40 at the MJ Morning Show. I have the most boring city in Florida, which has now been revealed.
Is it a big city or is it like one of those,
It's
barely a city?
No, it's a big city. No,
Okay.
Listen. This Florida city has just been listed as the most boring in the country. So this is the number one boring city in America. A recent study by Finance Buzz, the most boring city in America. Number one. We're number one. We're number one most boring city in America is, and it's here in Florida. If you were to guess, Fester, what you think it is?
Is like Newport Richie a city?
It is, but that's not it.
I mean, is it that size city?
No, think bigger, but much bigger.
I mean, it can't be Orlando. It can't be Tampa. I don't think it's Jacksonville. I don't think it's Miami. I don't think it's Tallahassee. It might be Tallahassee.
You said the correct city. In all the listings of cities you don't think it is,
Wait, Jacksonville?
It was. Yes, it is.
Jacksonville?
Oh.
Yeah.
I've spent some time in Jacksonville, and it's a turd town. I would never want to live in Jacksonville unless I lived on the water.
Yeah.
There ought to be a city named Turd Town.
Turd Town, Florida.
Yeah.
Yep, just south of Mayaca City.
Just south of Belgrade.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Jacksonville doesn't have the lore that other Florida cities have.
Yeah.
Orlando has the theme parks and the tourism.
Yeah.
Tampa has, I don't know what.
Beaches and
Jacksonville's got a
also-
smelly paper plant.
They used to.
Yeah, is that gone?
We used to drive down
Yeah.
95 coming
Yeah.
from New York, and we
Yeah.
would know when we hit Florida.
Yeah.
Because from southern Georgia, we
It
could
smelled
smell
like someone ripped some ass.
Yeah. Jacksonville
Yeah.
stunk. That
Yeah.
St. John's River stunk.
Yeah. The excitement score for each city was based on factors like local attractions, outdoor activities, nightlife, celebrations, and this is a boring city. What makes a city boring? While most urban cores have their own brand of charm, some fall flatter than others when it comes to culture, nightlife, things to do. With that in mind, the Finance Buzz team collected data on 75 of America's biggest cities and ranked them from most to least boring. Overall, the most boring city in the country is determined to be Jacksonville, with a staggeringly low score of only 14.3.
I mean,
I don't know. In the whole country.
Jacksonville's more boring than Bismarck.
Also,
Yeah.
Jacksonville is, I believe, the largest city by square mileage in the entire country.
That's a scam.
Because Jacksonville is like 875 square miles. It's like ridiculous.
I think
Who cares?
The city of Jacksonville is identical to the county of Duval. So it's like saying Tampa is as big as Hillsborough. Does that make it the biggest city, really?
All right, so where are the other Florida cities on the list?
I would think like Miami would have to be like closer to the less boring
It
side.
is. So number one most boring city. And this is in America. So these are the Florida cities. Number one is Jacksonville with a horrendous score of 14.3. Number 9 most boring city in America is Tallahassee with 20.5. Tampa Bay or Tampa's 51.6. So we're number 56. So this is out of what I say, top they scored the top 75 cities. So out of 75 cities, Tampa's 56, so that's sort of down the list.
Yeah.
Orlando is number 72.
Yeah, Tampa kind of feels like it's in the right spot.
And Miami is number 74 out of 75, meaning they think Miami is one of the most exciting cities.
One like New York or Chicago or one of the big metropolitan areas. Dallas.
I don't have 75, who's like the lowest boring city, meaning what? One of the more exciting cities?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Vegas. I don't know. It's just not on the list. But that's where some Florida cities stand. 9:44 at the MJ Morning Show. I meant to do this yesterday, and I just ran out of time, didn't get around to it. Do you know who Julian McMahon is? Or I should say, do you know who Julian McMahon was?
So I do, and I literally just saw a movie with him in it over the 4-day 4th of July weekend.
I thought he was great. I thought he was a really good actor. Michelle and I really came to know him because we were fans of that old FX show, Nip Tuck. And Julian McMahon played the part of Dr. Christian Troy on Nip Tuck, and he is dead of cancer at the age of 56. That is way too young.
Yeah, it's awful.
But the other twist in the story, and I had no idea, he was living here. He died in Clearwater. He died right here.
Yeah.
What a sad story. He was a good actor. He was also on Charmed. He was on, 6 seasons or so of Nip Tuck, however many seasons.
So I was into Nip Tuck when it was on. I thought that was really edgy, cutting edge TV.
It was different than anything we had seen before. It was cutting edge television.
I never saw one episode of Charmed.
Same here.
But over the weekend, my son and I are going through superhero movies.
Yes.
And we saw the Fantastic Four.
I didn't know he was in that.
The Fantastic Four from like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Right, one of the early ones.
Yeah, and he was the bad guy.
Right.
And I just watched, and I even said, hey, that's the guy from Nip Tuck. And then 2 days later, I found out he passed.
And I think he's going to be in a movie coming out with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, posthumously?
Well,
Yeah.
I saw that he was
Really?
had a picture taken with him recently
Wow.
for the release of that.
I mean, think about it. Some of these movies take a year or two to come out.
Yeah.
You film it when you're healthy or you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Then you die.
Well,
Like Ray Liotta had half a dozen movies that
I was
came
just
out.
gonna say that.
the news
Cocaine Bear.
the news broke. Julian's wife, Kelly McMahon,
Mm-hmm.
she confirmed that he died on July 2nd. So that would have been last, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
So he died almost a week ago right here in Clearwater. She said after a valiant effort to overcome his illness, I think reports said that he had, prostate cancer.
That's what I read.
Yeah, we saw some reports to that effect, but he was good. That means his wife is here in town.
Yeah.
I think he's an Australian.
He was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so he was from Australia.
His father was like prime minister of Australia.
Yeah, for not for long, for like a year or so.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, his dad was Australian prime
It's like
minister.
having Gerald Ford as your father.
Yeah.
Just for a couple of years.
Yeah, it wasn't long, but you know,
he's there. He's the
but
guy.
But he was president. What was Gerald? 38?
It's like having William Henry Harrison as your great-great-grandfather. He was only there for a month.
What number president was Gerald Ford? 38?
Yeah. Reagan was 40, so yeah.
Yeah, Carter 39?
Yeah.
Reagan 40? All right. So rest in peace, Julian McMahon, good actor. And
what was his tie to
Clearwater?
Clearwater?
I was just about to ask that. I have no idea what his tie was to Clearwater. I don't know if he was a Scientologist.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, rest in peace.
Listen, if anyone knows, you know what the hell? Does anyone know? Anyone locally here in the Tampa Bay area, did anyone know that Julian McMahon was living here? Were you friends? Did you know Julian McMahon? Where did they live? How long has Julian McMahon, the actor, lived in Clearwater? But, his wife said that he died here in Clearwater. Sad story. I mean, my condolences. Does anyone know any details on this? A lot of times we go to the audience and the audience knows. Hey, if you want to remain anonymous, if you know anything about this, and if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. Hit the phones, 800-990-1047. In the final minutes of today's show, let's see if we can get any answers here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Call the MJ Morning Show if you have any details on the Nip Tuck star's death here in Clearwater last week. I mean, I was a fan of this guy.
Who is the famous singer, female singer that died in Tampa or Clearwater?
Cyndi Lauper?
No. She's still alive.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Wasn't it like the person that sang Flashdance or something?
Irene Cara?
Irene Cara.
She died did she die in the area?
She lived in Largo.
And we all remember saying,
what a feeling.
We were like, holy crap, Irene Cara lived in Largo? We didn't know?
Yeah. Andrew's answering some calls. Maybe somebody in the final minutes of today's show will know anything about the death of Julian McMahon, the actor, right here in Clearwater last week.
If not, we should bring this up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe
someone else will know.
slot.
Because there's very little information other than his wife's statement that he died here in Clearwater last Wednesday. Died peacefully. If anyone knows, 800-990-1047. Andrew, thumbs up or down? Do you have any information? Andrew's giving me a
so-so.
A so-so. I'm not getting the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I'm getting the.
We're not looking for so-so. So, get rid of them.
Well, Andrew, am I a go or no go on this phone call? Andrew's still talking to the.
Is it a go or no go? Because we don't want so-so.
Andrew says no. I think I've got the wave off from Andrew.
There we go.
Anyway, anything else when we get out of here?
No, we're done.
Why are you giving me the wave off?
She's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's not like she's getting
Hold on.
paid.
What the hell do you have to do, Michelle?
She's not an hourly employee.
I'm watching Wimbledon.
I didn't get a chance to talk about the Brazilian butt lift smell.
The smell of the...
Yeah, this is a thing. I had no idea that people that get the BBL, there's some kind of a rank odor that comes with people that get the Brazilian butt lift.
What, does it change the angle of
I
everything?
don't know. I need to sniff some Kardashian crack is what I need to do.
Stop.
I'm sorry. No, but apparently there's some kind of an odor that comes with They're calling it a disgusting smell. Why we've never heard about this in the past with all like the celebrities that have gotten the Brazilian butt lift? I mean, I didn't know. We'll get to that tomorrow. Oh, we didn't get to Britain Plaza. Yeah, I wanted to mention Britain Plaza. How much time? Oh, we got a few minutes. Give me 2 minutes here. So yesterday, the company, the real estate development company that bought Britain Plaza down in South Tampa, they released like some renderings of like, hey, here's what the new Britain Plaza is going to look like, and it looks like more like a modern kind of midtown looking thing. I don't see any tall, huge buildings in there like midtown, but I don't know. Is
like a shopping district?
Yeah, is that a good spot for that?
You know what?
I mean, people are going to Britain Plaza for Marshalls and, the Missing Piece Furniture Store and the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, all those places are out.
So, they're going to be gone.
If you build it, they will come.
It's too bad. People love that missing piece.
They do.
People love the missing piece.
If you look at the Times article, that's the biggest thing they're complaining about is they hope the missing piece finds a place to go.
You can find some real gems at that store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brixmore. Listen, you have a Publix in there. So who the hell knows what they'll actually put?
It looks like the back end of it, where the Tapper Pub and the Publix and the missing pieces stays. But then that old Tuesday morning area gets knocked down. The Play It Again Sports, that movie theater goes away.
Let me tell you right now, it looks like they've got way too much crammed in there for the space they actually have. It's only 30 acres.
Serious.
So the rendering looks like they think they have twice the space that they have.
It looks like a hot mess.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it really does.
It looks like parking's going to be... I'm not impressed with the initial renderings of this, to be quite honest. And, also, remember the rendering? Remember all the media that fell for West Shore Plaza is going to be demolished? The new West Shore Plaza, the new development, the huge, massive, multi-billion-dollar deal. That's going nowhere anytime soon. Nowhere. Hey, they're opening up a women's gym in the bottom floor of the old Dick's. So, guess what? No Dick's times 2, because Dick's is gone, and guess what? It's a women's only gym, so no Dick's again. And then the upper floor at Dick's is going to be pickleball courts. So you're telling me that
oh my God, that's so funny.
All these new tenants are going in and they're going to knock the mall. That mall's not going down anytime soon.
Stop, Fester.
What?
I mean, the bottom floor goes from Dick's to no Dick's, and the top floor goes from Dick's to pickle?
I saw it coming from you.
We got to go.
What they all say.
Folks, have a great day. It's the MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM. Let's be careful out there. See you tomorrow.
Download the app now. Get the Q105 app and listen to us anywhere. Powered by Anna Jar and Levine.